Yeah, I'll be careful how I handle this. Some of y'all are full of shit. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, I'm just kidding. Hey, everybody, welcome to FSP episode number 88. And we're going to have a fun show today. Welcome to this amazing time where we're getting ready for the Dev Direct is coming up here on Thursday. We're going to have a blast with the co-stream here. I don't know who else is going to be able to be there for our co-stream.
I will.
You will? I thought you had to work.
Yeah. I made arrangements.
No, you got fired.
No.
I'm just kidding. Nice, man. You made arrangements. Sweet. I'm excited to have you there then, man.
I'm still trying, but we'll see.
That
I still
NFT
work.
store closed down, so he's got free hours.
Yeah. Did y'all hear that Game is stopping doing trade-ins? I wonder what that means for GameStop.
Yeah, isn't that like a whole business model? Of
Hey, pretty much.
No trade-ins.
No,
No trade-ins.
Game in the UK, they're going to stop allowing trade-ins next month.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Well, that's the end of UK GameStop.
Pretty
It's
much.
like their business.
I'm just wondering, like, what's next after that, you know? But we'll see. But yeah, I think,
Closing shop.
yeah, well, probably. What are they, I mean, that's been a huge thing, part of their model. But you know, it tells you where the industry's going for sure. Everybody, thank you for being here. We have lots to go over. We're gonna after I do the intros and stuff, but we're going to be trying to like decipher all of this insanity that's been going on the last couple weeks, because it seems like ever since January 2nd or 3rd or whatever, ever since the one rumor that came out from that person on Reddit, or Nate the Hate or whatever, ever since then it's been like nonstop insiders and sources say and this and that, and it's been absolutely crazy. I mean, in such a short span to have this many random different rumors popping off at the same time from different people is just kind of nuts. You have lots of stuff going on, so kind of wanted to try and like look at all that and see like what's going on with that. Like, have some speculation. Which ones do we think could be true? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
Starfield going to PS5.
And I'm not trying to call anybody out, right? I'm just saying, like, it's a lot of stuff, right?
You
like,
won't.
and there's a lot of more insiders in 2024 than there was in 2023, obviously. It's insane what the turn of a date can do, but it's happened. I don't know, guys. But let's welcome the panel here. Psychonauts, what's up, dude?
Not much. Got off work and can't wait to get into these spicy rumors.
Yeah, so spicy, Yeah,
Spicy.
Jasper, how are you doing, bro?
Pretty good. I started playing Peg.
Whoa,
Peg.
Hey, Jasper's favorite game is called Peg.
Plague Tale Requiem.
Oh, okay.
It's actually a really good game.
I bet.
That's a fun game there, Jasper. You like playing that one?
What?
Yeah.
Bonus points for grabbing ankles.
Yeah.
What chapter are you on?
I think I'm like on 4 or 5. I just started.
There's chapters? I'm so confused. No. Right on, dude. Plague Tale Requiem?
Yeah.
Nice. You playing on Xbox or PC?
PC.
Right on. I think they've come out with some more updates on Xbox too. So originally I think it's running at like 45 frames of performance mode on Xbox. I don't know if they changed that, but might be even better now. But Fuzzy Belvedere, how you doing, bro?
Doing pretty good, and man, just glad to be here with you guys. But X or Twitter or whatever you want to call it these days has been it's been pure comedy gold, pretty much. I mean, you know, we're going to get into it, but man, oh man, I think I'm gonna just start, throwing stuff at a wall and whatever sticks. Yeah, I'm gonna start talking about. So yeah,
let's go
let's
for
get
it, man.
into it.
You know, like we love speculating about stuff, and like it's just, we don't like know anything. Well, I mean, 3-Bit does. He can't tell us, but whatever he has told us in the past, we haven't shared and stuff like that. But like, there's been so much stuff out there that's like it's crazy to see some of these things like my source says and stuff, and like even the podcasting people that have told us things behind the scenes, and some of them I believe. Like like the Gears collection thing, the rumor has been around there for a long time. I believe that that's real because the other podcasters behind the scenes have told me that they think it's 100%, and I kind of trust what they say. But it's stuff they're not putting out there as like sources tell me this, and you know what I mean, like for some kind of clout chase thing. It's like, but like it's interesting to see kind of like this different kind of side of people that in the podcasting community and like stuff that we've known for a while and stuff, and all of a sudden it's like this different thing going on. And I'm not saying they're not right. Maybe they are. Maybe all this stuff is true. It's just a lot of information at once coming from a bunch of different people, and it's going to be kind of hard to keep up with like what's real, what's not, and all this kind of stuff. So we'll figure it out. We're going to decipher it. But hey, 3-Bit, what's up, man? How's it going?
Hey, man. I'm here to confirm that Halo will have a game based off of the TV show. The health is going to be slightly lower because there's no helmets in this game. And I'm here to confirm it right here. And my sources confirmed it as of 5 minutes ago. So, yeah,
Nice.
exclusive. Yeah. See how that works? See how I could just say sources and then
Well, my
you know.
sources tell me.
I expect to see this on Reddit tonight too. So
My sources tell me that
Neo
since
Jeff.
the Cowboys lost yesterday, Jerry Jones is selling the Cowboys to Microsoft.
Oh, the mic. Dang.
Yeah, I have connections within the Cowboys organization. And they have sent me information behind the scenes that this is real. Microsoft is going to own the Dallas Cowboys, and they are going to put them in Game Pass.
Dang.
Don't
Day
ask
one?
me. Yeah, day
Or
one.
is that day one?
Don't ask me how that works. I don't know, but they're gonna figure it out. Dallas Cowboys, and we all get free tickets if you're a Game Pass subscriber. Season tickets, and so they're gonna have to expand the stadium.
do they give their fans $20 to shovel snow?
No, there's not much snow in Dallas, so
Oh, okay.
no.
Can you? What's your source?
My source is the players. I know lots of them. Yeah,
Oh, okay.
Micah Parsons is my buddy. We hang out on the weekends. Former players too, like Tony Romo. Hang out with them all the time.
You just close.
CeeDee
They're on Game Pass.
Lamb's my bro. Yeah, I mean they're all gonna be on Game Pass. Actually, you know what? They already are, because Madden is on Game Pass.
Oh yeah, sure. Forget about that.
But anyway, and ridiculous. There's lots. Maybe there's some truth to some of this other stuff out there, right? But some of the stuff is just so random and from left field sometimes. And I want to kind of go through this list, right? We were kind of talking before the show, trying to get a grasp on some of the rumor stuff, right? First off, we had what I think was started off this year, the big third-party controversy, right? This was before any actual news broke this year whatsoever. The Dev Direct hadn't been announced yet, none of that. A couple weeks back, and somebody on, was it Reddit? I think, or Nate the Hate, I believe.
NeoGaf.
Is that NeoGaf?
NeoGaf.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Said that a Game of the Year contender game is going to go to another platform or PlayStation from Xbox, right? Roughly around that, that's what they had said. And that led to lots of conversation out there. Jeff Grubb commented on it, talking on one of his shows, and then ended up bringing back, that reminds him of a Sea of Thieves thing back from 2018, 2019 or something. That ended up spreading into Sea of Thieves is coming to PlayStation now, because people just kind of saw that clip and ran with that, like Microsoft's going third party. But then you go back to the Tim Stewart interview that had kind of preempted a lot of this, right? And I kind of feel like I don't know if y'all are with me on this, right? I think because Microsoft already does this and already has a history of doing this, that's kind of a easy, random rumor to start to gain some kind of clout, especially.
Which one?
I'm
The
talking
Nate
about the
one?
Nate the Hate one. You know, if you talk about
Yeah.
a game, leaving it vague for no reason, right? Like if they knew the game, why not say it, right? So leaving it vague, but again worded to evoke emotion, game of the year contender or whatever in the year that it released.
He later said in other tweets that Microsoft is going to bring an acclaimed first-party release to a competitor platform this year, just to give like extra whatever.
Okay, so like my point is like, why not? And we talked about this last week, I think. Like, why not say the game, right? Because it's not like a new game, so like, what are you like spoiling something? You're not spoiling something. Are you an insider or are you not? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, are you putting the information out there or are you not? Like, instead, it's led to lots of speculation and stuff, like, and negative conversation, a lot of negative conversation about Xbox, the future plans and all this. And I feel like it was an opportunistic thing almost because it like followed along with that whole Tim Stewart interview and what a lot of people had already been talking about. So you follow that up with that, you know, in a dead time with no news really. And then that's what a lot of people have been talking about the last couple of weeks. And then since then there's been other rumors starting and spreading. But first off, let's focus on this rumor that has caused the most controversy. First off, leading to this whole idea that Xbox going third party, all this kind of stuff, with instead of specifically talking about like one game potentially or what it is, right? Like, do y'all actually believe that this person knows something? That's what I want to know. Like, do y'all believe that this person is credible, or do you think that this was a attempt for attention in a downtime of news when there was nothing else going on and using easy bait at the time?
Well, I mean, watch it be
I
like Call
don't
of
know
Duty.
the track record, you know, so I'm just asking.
His track record in the past. I mean, he said, for example, that Persona 6 will be exclusive to PlayStation, and then it wasn't. But then he was trying to backtrack and say like, but it was the wording I meant. I meant this specific version or whatever he was trying to say. So like, a lot of people are saying he's credible. Maybe. I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. The way he's wording it, the fact that Microsoft is already doing a lot of third-party games to other platforms, I feel like you can really get away with, like, let's say Obsidian, that's one of their legacy titles, which they already said some of their legacy titles are possibly going to other platforms. If they do Obsidian, for example, and you're like, look, Oblivion, going to like other platforms, like, hey, see, look, it happened. You know, was that a game of the year? Yes. People kind of ran with this Hi-Fi Rush situation from this rumor, but that's not what he's ever said. So I don't know. I think it can be interpreted in a lot of ways. I don't
Also,
believe he knows anything.
Maybe he did get information. Like maybe someone could have DM'd and be like, "Hey, Microsoft's going to make one of their games third party or whatever." Like, so he doesn't even know like what it is. So like, it's not like a big stretch because that's like kind of like anyone can make that guess. So like, if he did get that information, it's like someone just said, "Hey, Xbox making a game third party." Like, he got it from somewhere, but they didn't know what the fuck it was either. So like, he's just kind of running with basic information. Like, so I'm not saying that he didn't get anything, but
kind of like Starfield going third party.
Yeah, that's what other people are starting. Well, we'll get to that one. That one is funny.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Um,
I feel like you're right though. Like, it's an easy thing to guess that Microsoft might put a game on another platform. You know what I mean?
It's not
Like,
that hard to guess.
because I mean, they already have lots of games on other platforms, and like after the
Yeah.
acquisition and based on like that interview, like, is it possible that they might put something somewhere else? Yeah, but like leaving it that vague, it means like really you could get away with anything. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
like that's the interesting thing about rumors when they spread from certain people when it's like that vague. It like almost seems intentional, but not to say that they didn't hear something. But like, what does that mean? Like, and it allows for people to run away with things and kind of take them into lots of different directions. Like, oh, they're going to end up bringing all their games. Like you see, like Reforged with his Starfield thing now. It's like, oh, because
Yeah.
they're taking basically like this thing and turning it into now Starfield is coming to PlayStation and Hellblade 2. Like I saw a clip of that guy saying,
Yeah.
I guarantee you Hellblade 2 is going to be on PS5, right? And then stuff like that. So it just takes it like to ridiculous degrees just because of like one little insider or a rumor that started, like that. And it's interesting to see what's happened the last couple of weeks because this is like all that's been going on is these kind of things, right?
yeah.
Well,
There was a source for, Starfield going to PS5. We all remember Colin Moriarty said that.
Oh,
I guarantee
that's
you,
the
it's
source.
going to PS5.
Or
Right.
Reforged saying it months
He's kind
ago.
of looked at as a credible source to some extent. So, Reforged quoting him. I mean, maybe
Yeah, you
that's
think that's
his
what
source.
you think that's what he's talking about? Yeah. I think that guy
Oh,
I
wants
mean, I would
guaranteed.
hope it's him over J-Dub, who said, I'll be playing, Starfield at launch on my PS5, but we all know he got laughed
Or
out of
or
Twitter or whatever. But
or faction. I'll play factions before Starfield or
oh yeah,
a lot of things.
Yeah.
yeah, because
like
Also,
that.
I think some of what added to this is like I saw someone bring up like some old Paris tweets. Like one of the things Paris tweeted was like when Bethesda was acquired, he's like, you don't spend $7.5 billion and then make games like you put them on other platforms. And then like a couple weeks ago, he tweeted like, yeah, I think they bought Bethesda so they can make games like third party or whatever. So he's like contradicting himself in his tweets or whatever. So it's like
right. But like
some of the Xbox people are flipping like even on the shit that they've said. So it's like adding to it.
But like even people were pointing to like Paris when asked about this what was the other rumor that came out about the Tatanka being canceled, right?
I mean, yeah, that was part of
yeah.
it, but he was talking
So,
about
but he
Hi-Fi
was-
Rush.
So he was asked, I think on XCast about that one, right? And then everybody's like, "Ooh, Paris has heard this too." You know what I mean? But like literally in that clip, Paris says he saw it on Reddit. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, that's a thing on Reddit.
Mhm.
So like, yeah, I saw it on Reddit,
Yeah.
and
That's
then
what
he's
trust
like,
me
but
about.
but like also it seemed like it's a thing where they're taking the game and maybe moving it into like whatever 343 is working on. You know what I mean? So like, but instead everybody's just like, Paris also heard that Tatanka's canceled.
But
You
this
know what
has
I mean?
been
And so it's
canceled.
like-
This is why I was confused by this news cycle about Halo, because this has been canceled like a year or so ago. I thought they were talking about like the new project. Like there's two Halo projects or something, and I knew one like we're either downing the production and then upping the other.
Right.
Like because Halo insider channels have been talking about this like a year ago, and then I guess because Colt or someone brought it up that it was like, oh, insider information, like we but this happened a while ago, so that's why I was just like, Paris is not getting any insider information. This is just something that the news just caught on, like, oh, it was,
Yeah. Hey, but
like-
like insiders are a real thing. We know that like people
We do.
have gotten things right. You know what I mean? Sometimes
Yeah.
things don't happen that the insiders say. Shout out to Special Nick in the chat. What's up, dude? How you doing? I'll just point out to so far like the Killer Instinct 2 thing, not like, but we'll see if that ever is eventually announced, right? But then also like I know that there was a PlayStation stuff that happened last year or something that 100% he was there like on the money on and had inside stuff that even like I think a video and stuff like that. So like then you have like Mag now is sharing a lot of stuff talking about things and like, but he had a lot of details and contraband, so like I tend to believe that to be true because you don't have that many details on something and not just pulling it out of your ass unless he was to get it from somewhere else or whatever. But then still is like, is it digging around enough and to find it yourself? I don't know. Like, it's just interesting that all of a sudden, like in January of this year, after not a lot of this going on for recent times, like we have like 8 different fucking rumors going on all at once in like a 2-week period. It's all started from the Nate the Hate thing. You know what I mean?
And
like it's just
and
this
the whole
whirlwind, bro.
and the whole thing with the Nate hate thing, it could fucking be Call of Duty, all that we know, because we know that's coming to freaking PlayStation and possibly the new Switch. But you know, we don't. If he doesn't know what his sort, the person that told him, and that person is like, "Oh yeah, there's a game that from Microsoft that's coming to other platforms," and it could have been Call of Duty this whole time. But you know, what better to drum up some things to talk about than having a very vague rumor and saying, "I heard this, it's coming to this," and leave it to that, not stating, like you said, if it was credible, you're not going to ruin anything by saying, by not being vague, you know what I mean? So to me, it just feels it they're just pulling out of that a hat, and it was like, let's see what sticks today. And then then other people started going with this, you know, like, well, Xbox is going third party, Starfield's going on, and everything, everything. Microsoft's just going to stop making consoles, and here we go, the start of the.
I mean,
it's like, what the fuck? It's like, I know that PlayStation doesn't have a lot of stuff to talk about because there's not a lot coming out, but stop enough with the nonsense of just making up shit just to get clicks and clout and all this other stuff that, you know, certain podcaster that we will name that kind of looks like Jimmy Neutron, you know, and just talk shit and doesn't know half this.
Yeah, if I'm
It's
saying
silly.
like my sources had told me, like with Reforged today, I'm just gonna say his name. Reforged today saying my sources told me that Starfield is coming to PlayStation, when clearly that like, well, your sources are wrong. You know, I will just say that flat out. And to Special Nick's point, like technically, he says technically no one of note ever pulls stuff from their ass. Everyone I know
Of
gets
note.
info from people
right.
of note. Does
Yeah.
that info always pan out? Nope. But I don't think anyone generally makes stuff up just because, dude, it's the internet. People make stuff up all the time.
But like to his point,
it's-
like when he says of note, right? Like, so people that we're familiar with, I think, like
people who are familiar
Yeah.
with like that we have come to trust over time, like
yeah, they
yeah,
don't they
like,
don't just
they don't
certain
make up
people
stuff,
yeah.
I'm
There's
talking
certain
of other people that are just pulling shit out of their ass and putting in, seeing if it's on the wall.
but
just to
I
get-
Kate, I just feel like this month all of a sudden everyone is like an insider, and there's certain things like I know that are just false, and then insiders will run with it, and it's like, hey, I know this, and I know this,
Yeah.
but they'll just go with it, and that's just they have a community, or whatever the case is. They'll just say like oh, my sources told me this. I'm like, I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm like, bro, you're probably not telling the truth. And that's all. I'll leave it at that. But like, there's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of rumor jumping. Like, oh, I heard this rumor. I heard this rumor. A lot of sources are just kind of jumping off of each other, and it's just interesting to me. The time especially the time frame of how all this is kind of going down. Like, for example, Jeff Grubb, right? Well, Jeff Grubb kind of talking about
Yeah, and
the
he's
Sea
a
of
proven
Thieves
insider.
thing.
I mean, like
A proven insider.
Yeah, literally,
Yes.
he's had lists like months in advance of when events are going to happen and stuff like
Yes.
that. Like his like Grubb's summer games mess list or whatever. And like you would look at it, and like 6 months down the line, there would be like an announcement that matches up like with the month that was supposed to
Yeah,
happen.
Jeff Grubb
'Cause
is
this isn't-
crazy.
nuts.
He's someone that's proven. You're like, okay, he
But he's
says
also
something,
got stuff
then
wrong too
but
because things
he
have changed.
has.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, things change, right? And that makes sense in the industry that's ever changing, whether it's budgetary reasons, development costs. Things change all the time. But to my point with Grubb, when he brought up the Sea of Thieves thing, it was a revolving rumor that even Jez talked about,
And it was
where
something they heard years ago, pretty much. Like, it
something they
wasn't
heard
something-
years ago,
it
but
wasn't
people
something they heard
added
last
it.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, but people added it to this sort of fuel or fire, that as if like, oh, Hi-Fi and Sea of Thieves and now Starfield with Reforge, as if like, as of all these games all of a sudden are rumored this year to be coming to the Xbox, when really it wasn't. It wasn't that way. So I don't know. It's interesting. We'll see what ends up happening. There are certain insiders I do trust, being Grubb and Jez. Those have been known to be reliable in the past. And just speaking as someone who is in the industry, there's a lot of people out there I would not listen to. People people who watch the show just know that we if we don't know anything, we're probably not going to say it. And we like to speculate on things. Of course, we like to be like, "Oh, I wonder if this is going to happen." We're called this fun speculation, but we're not going to be like confirmed. This is
Even
Foam
when we
happening.
Stars
did-
coming to Xbox.
Even when we
Yeah,
did
so-
know things because of your work, right? Like we wouldn't
Yep.
say, because obviously you could. Like that'd be bad for you. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
So like, but we would put out like little hints and teases sometimes with like jokes. You know what I mean? But like, it's sometimes I feel like if you know something, like it's better not to say something. You know what I mean? Like we all knew about the Splinter Cell game, for a long time. You know what I mean? But like, then we were disappointed that with how they announced it.
Yeah.
But we can't, we couldn't say anything obviously because of that. Like, and there's, I mean, literally that's about the only thing we knew about. And it's because of you. I mean, you know lots of things that you can't tell us.
No,
now.
it's not because of
Well,
3-bit.
I mean,
What are you
like-
talking about?
Allegedly.
It wasn't him.
No. Oh yeah, sorry. But like,
Yeah.
no, I mean, just be like, you give it little hints and stuff, and we'd guess or
Yeah.
whatever, when
But
back
it,
then.
it just brings to the point, like,
It was his cousin,
No.
Amore.
yeah, it was my cousin, allegedly.
But like, you literally you worked
but
on
here's the thing.
Fable, you know what I mean? So you obviously had know more about Fable than anybody else here, or probably
Yeah.
on any podcast. You know what I
Probably.
mean?
Probably.
You haven't
So if I
said
see some
shit.
rumor about,
I don't like that.
I'm not gonna say, but like if anyone has like some dumb rumors about Fable and stuff, I'll be like, bro, like,
Yeah.
I know you're like, but it's weird being because I'm not an insider per se. Like, I just like talking about
You're
games.
just inside.
I inside, I guess.
Call was from
But
inside the house.
For the most part, it's just weird having all these different people in the industry just kind of saying my sources tell me from his cousin's brother that this Xbox is going third party and you should believe me, and then articles run with it, and it all started from the Nate the Hate thing, which he basically was saying a very vague thing that a game of the year contender from Xbox is going to other platforms, which could have been like a bunch of other stuff, right? It could literally be anything. And then people sort of ran with it. If this is confirmed to be Starfield, this is confirmed to be Hi-Fi Rush and all these other games. So I don't know. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Sometimes even the actual companies will put out false information to find where the leak is. Like,
Mhm.
and I've seen an instance where Jeff Grubb got burned on that. It was something that was targeted to find out who the leaker was within their walls and silence them, or give them a pink slip kind of thing. That happens as well. So you can't really trusted everything is a guarantee to be, in the plan or in the program kind of thing. Some stuff is like, oh, well, we let this certain group here or this particular team know that this was going to happen and it got out. So somebody within that particular team, we can narrow down to the leak is here. But speaking on the overall leaking aspect of things, I blame PlayStation. And here's why.
Yep.
When things are boring because
Yeah.
there is no real news or showcase, the super secret second showcase that Sony was supposed to have last year.
Yeah,
never
didn't
really
Colin
happened.
Moriarty say that was going to happen, or that he
Yeah,
believed it
there was
would?
a bunch of them that said it was.
Was it like that? Was he saying he knew, or was it just like he thinks?
He
that-
knew something. I remember
remember
seeing
what
a
he
clip where
said.
he said he knew that they were working, that there were some things that they were supposed to show at this one that they didn't. And I know a couple other insiders within PlayStation that even said the same thing. So I don't know how deep inside. I know one is a very high investor in Sony. The other individual has some friends working within certain companies over at Sony Studios, or now one in particular that's a recently owned Sony studio. But overall, they're not in the news like they normally would be. I mean, they try to be. When Xbox has good news, all they can talk about is console sales. We sold 50 million units. And that's all that you really hear, other than the fact that, okay, we're doing a remake of this or a remaster of that or another remaster and a remaster. And oh, here's a free DLC of, a roguelike, which now all of their games are becoming roguelikes ever since Returnal, which people didn't even buy Returnal. So why are they doing this? I don't know.
I think also some of it comes down to just like the community itself, because like even if going back to the Nate the Hate thing, he never said hi-fi, but the community
Yeah.
did, and
Yeah,
then everyone
the
started
community.
reporting that it's hi-fi coming out.
Insider Gaming said hi-fi.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's like
and-
some of it comes down to like media and then like the
Mhm.
community itself, like
Mhm.
leading on with these rumors that shit was never said, but then it's like, oh, all of a sudden, fucking GTA 6 is exclusive to Xbox. It's like, no one ever fucking said that.
Right.
But it's-
Well,
it's
my
one of those things,
uncle Carl.
Yeah. So do you think?
Yeah.
Here's something I believe that happens, and I don't know this for sure. Okay, but just looking at it, because I don't live in this world, where I don't scour Reddit, I don't scour 4chan, I don't scour NeoGAF or any of that shit. You know what I mean? But I know a lot of people do. Okay, and I know that a lot of the leaks and rumors sometimes start there, and maybe some of them are credible and some of them aren't. Right. But I have obviously been following gaming news long enough to remember several different times when rumors and leaks started from those different places. Right. And
Mhm.
what I kind of think happens sometimes is one person may put something on one of these platforms or say something to somebody verbally, like either behind the scenes at a podcast or whatever, and it starts spreading around, right? And all of a sudden, more and more people hear the same thing because it gets tossed around so much between people that, like, you may not even hear it from the same person, right? You may hear it from somebody else, but they heard it from their, like, it all stems sometimes from that just one original source or one original person, and we lose sight sometimes of who that was or where it came from.
It's
You
a
know what I
massive
mean?
telephone game on the
Yeah,
internet.
exactly. Like a massive game of like telephone sometimes, like between people who like are spreading things between each other. And I kind of, the reason I kind of feel that's what's going on, because I've literally seen that happen behind the scenes in podcast green rooms, right? It's just literally, I'm like, a lot of times we're in podcast green rooms and like, oh man, I heard this, I heard that, and it's like, cool, I want to believe you, bro. You know, like, and I'm like, that's awesome, man. And sometimes this stuff comes true, right? Sometimes it really does, and then sometimes we don't hear about it again. But like, that's the kind of stuff we don't ever talk about because don't know, right?
Yeah.
But like, I feel like those kind of instances happen still on the internet a lot with like NeoGAF or 4chan and all those things, and maybe it came down from one random conversation. Somebody felt like they had a good source, or somebody felt like this, and like they really think they got something, and it comes through. And then sometimes the information is no good, sometimes it isn't. But like what happens is, I feel like once this hits the public, Then all of a sudden you start seeing reports from other insiders, other people, right? Posting about the same thing. I heard this too.
Yep.
Or our sources also say this, or like, oh this and that. And it's
This
like,
one that piles on the pile on thing I'm talking about, where like
Yeah.
originally the rumor was just a guy saying like, "Hey, I heard a Game of the Year contender," and then Grubb saying like, "Oh yeah, well a year or a couple of years ago,
things
I heard
kind of
TFT."
snowball a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Into something. I mean, it becomes something other than what it is. Like, so for example, I'm going to go back to this one, right? And this I forget who started this rumor. It might have been Mag. Maybe it came from the internet, whatever. But it was about Tatanka, the getting canceled,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Mhm.
And then Paris Lilly commented on it because he was asked about it. I forget. I don't remember sometimes who originally said this stuff, right?
It may have been Colt. Colt.
Maybe
It was either Colt or
Maybe
Mag. I
it
think.
Colt. Okay, maybe it was Colt. Don't remember.
Or
That
Mag
said
on
it
Colt's show,
recently.
one of them.
Right.
Yeah.
That said it recently.
But then, like, I even saw like Colt answering people on Twitter about this,
Yeah.
and it didn't seem like 100% like he knew 100% what was going on with it. Like, and then Paris Lilly said he saw it on Reddit or whatever, on his clip. But and then like, I was listening today on Xbox 2. Jess Corden said that he hadn't heard anything, but he saw that there had not been an update to like the API build or whatever for a long time on it, and and there's reason to believe that would be the case, right? But like, it can get turned into project is canceled, multiple sources say, right? And it's like, okay, cool, you know what I mean? But like, maybe it's just rolled into the next game from 343. Like, it literally, I mean, because the evidence we have for that one is that, and I went back and did some more checking. So the original interview with Max Holberman with this YouTube was done in July, late July. Then an article picked up on it in November. Okay. And they posted a link to that, to the YouTube video, live interview with Max Holberman, where Max Holberman back in late July of last year said that their project with 343 is the largest project they have going right now, and over 100 developers or something like that on it. And then they talked about his other projects, right? Which one of those at the time he said maybe announced in December, the one that had the secret partner, which we think could be the Monster Hunter-y type game. But he said it may have been announced in December, but that didn't end up happening, right? So, but those random rumors come out there like this project's canceled, but then just last July, they seemed like everything was good on this thing, right? If it's the same thing, or maybe it had already become this project more in line with 343's next game, because recent rumors are that 343's been working on their next game since 2022 now, right? So,
unless it's recently canceled,
unless it just happened, right? But then, like, why would they? Like, it just didn't seem like that was even a question or like a thing.
But I just remember seeing news reports.
Like, no, you can't have that.
I just remember seeing news reports. You know how there's like news about Halo, but then there's like insider news, like with people who are go into the source files of like 343, like a lot of modes that leak super early for Halo Infinite, and I just remember them talking about like certain modes or BR things being either remade or reintroduced for Halo like a year ago before.
A lot of that was found in the actual code of the game, though. Like, so that's where like a lot of that's kind of stemmed from. So
yeah,
I don't know.
But I just there's a couple like Halo pages that have been talking about it for like a while now. I feel like it just picked up steam like recently. But to Mav's point, that wasn't that long ago. So it's possible it turned into something else, or there was rumors about Unreal Engine being a thing. Maybe moving to different engine There's a lot
Yeah.
that could have happened. To something I will say to somewhat support Mag is a lot of studios at Microsoft do support each other. It may go titled, it may go untitled. That is a thing that does happen behind the
You
scenes. A
talking
lot
about
of
on the
studios
Indiana
do support.
Jones thing?
Yeah. I will say that does happen quite a bit at Microsoft. Like a lot of studios do help each other. We'll
Yeah, I
see
think so. Like
which ones. But
the interesting thing about that rumor, like Mag putting it out there about that it was co-developed or whatever by or that it was. I don't know what he said exactly, so I don't want to
you
misquote him.
said 343.
Tango GameWorks
Tango and id.
Tango GameWorks.
Did he
and
say they
id
worked
were
on or they were co-developing? That's two different.
yeah, those
things.
are pretty different.
Right.
I don't want to misquote him. I don't.
So like
If yeah, I don't know. I don't know what he said. If someone in the chat could tell us.
yeah, that's too for me. Like okay, optimizing and helping optimize something, but then like
This is Idle Sweet's twath.
Idle Sleeves Twath.
Idle what?
Ron, what is Idle Sleeves Twath?
Yeah, I can't fucking talk tonight. Indiana Jones has not
Sound
only
like me.
been developed by Machine Games, but has been co-developed by 343, id, and Tango. And then he got the timestamp to the YouTube.
Okay, so
podcast
like
or
I would say that
Okay.
like for me that seems like, and I'm not trying to say that Mag's like trying to throw out misinformation, you know what I mean, like at all. But to me, it seems like that'd be more of something that would be like more about an optimization thing. Except, I mean, I could see like maybe Tango, or with some kind of development
Well-
help there, or like and maybe even id, you know, because like those were all more.
The-
But like
They've been helped with
343,
Starfield.
like I could see maybe on the optimization side. It's just like co-develop, I think, is a strong word that kind of like makes it seem
That's-
like something
That's like Perfect Dark,
different
like
than maybe what it
initiative.
would be. Right, that's like yeah,
Yeah.
Crystal Dynamics and the
Yeah.
initiative with Perfect Dark, right? It makes it seem like something more involved than it maybe it could be, you know?
It could have been simple as like maybe a couple developers from 343 coming over and giving them a hand. So it's not like maybe he didn't misspoke, but he just had it in a way that sounded like 343 helped more than possibly what they did, which is, I mean, if you got a couple of people that worked on it from 343, he's not technically wrong. But it just wasn't like a larger scale that possibly could have been.
Yeah.
That's
And
all.
he did say that came at this has been nailed down as fact. So I mean, that's a pretty definitive statement.
Yeah, and maybe he's
So-
right. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like it's interesting.
We'll
like
see.
I like
That's a pretty thing.
it
you
is
know.
like 343 co-developing on something like that. It would be interesting, especially when they've been struggling like to
and
working
let
on this
half
next
their
Halo
team
game.
go, like last
Yeah.
year.
It's just, but I would if you tell me that 343 helped with the optimization or something of Indiana Jones, I would 100% believe you, right? Because like they are
develop is a completely different.
right. So maybe some
pipeline
phrasing
structure.
could be a little bit different or something, or maybe I don't know. It's just an interesting thing because that's like 4 studios, bro. You know, like
Yeah.
And we could be wrong. You know, I was just saying from behind the scenes, like a lot of studios do help each other, and they won't be listed. Like you don't see ID software on Starfield, but they did help apparently with the optimization of the game that we know of,
Mhm.
and we all thought it was the combat, right?
Yeah.
But what we found out, like, oh, they actually helped with the optimization of the engine of creation, which is dope, right? But you don't see them on the box. Because they didn't co-develop the game, they helped with.
But it's also that's a
optimization.
weird thing because they're also still under Bethesda Game Studios. So like when everyone puts like Bethesda Game Studios made, like it's technically
Sure,
kind of
it is
under that. So
technically.
it's
That's
like
true.
right.
That is true.
It's
So-
not far fetched. It's not lying, but
Well, we know that like they said Xbox sent Rare and Coalition to help with. Was it Coalition or Playground? I don't remember. They sent
Yeah, I
sent
knew for
Rare
sure
and
it was
somebody
Rare.
else
For
to
what?
to,
What
to
game?
help
For who?
to help
For what?
get optimization
Redfall.
done on Redfall after launch.
Oh, they need more people. Goodness.
Yeah. Well,
That
like,
was
this was
not
at,
coalition.
yeah, this was after
Send the
launch,
whole
like,
army.
yeah.
No,
Well, see,
it was not yet. No
It
coalition.
was,
Send
it was
everybody.
All
Rare
hands
and
on deck.
somebody else. I don't remember who the other studio
It
was.
was.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
someone look that up because they need to send everybody for Redfall.
Yeah,
Send
and
the whole squad.
the interesting thing is, if 343 like did help with this game in any kind of meaningful way, then that's like pretty strong telling for the relationship between like Bethesda now and the regular Xbox studios. It's like they're pretty much just another Xbox studio now. It's no longer like, it's not like there's a separate entity like operating separately within. I mean, Matt Booty's in charge of them now as well, right? But like this would have already had to have been happening for a while, you know? So
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, if a team is not doing something, like let's say this team is they're working on this, and then there's a group that's not really doing a whole lot, they could send them to help with another project and give pointers, give them ways that they were able to structure their coding and things like that to help progress with the actual development of the game. That right, I mean, we see that happens all the time, all over the industry, not just in house only, but it's we're seeing Xbox where they are firing on almost all cylinders, and after what happened with Redfall, I see them not making that mistake again, doubling down. Hey, who needs assistance on anything that you're developing? Let us know. Please reach out. And I think that went company wide, and maybe a couple people answered and started helping with indie. I don't know the extent of how many people. We'll find out if they ever mention it, but
yeah.
but
I do
that's
want
the
to ask
nature of the
3-Bit
beast.
about that side a little bit in a second here, but I'm going to get to some super chats real quick. We got a $5 super chat from Decado. Thank you so much, Decado. Appreciate you. It says, Mav needs to put up his E3 speculation list again and say, trust me, bro, these are the multiplats.
Oh yeah, that was so funny. I forgot about that.
the
That's
thing
very
is-
relevant.
But see,
Bro,
that list I put out there, so many people were like, fake insider, this guy doesn't know shit or whatever. Like, and it was a joke. Like, it was clearly a joke, right? I think kind of like what's going on with like Nick and Jez right now with that whole Spider-Man thing. But like,
Yeah.
then you have people actually writing articles about it, you know? But like that list was a literal joke, but you had people like being like, oh, not like another person claiming to know things and stuff like that. But like, literally, there was
it had this is fake.
I literally wrote one of the games was called "This Is Fake," like on the list.
You dumbass.
You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Like Joe did that. You know, from Trophy Room Podcast just did one of these fake leaks or rumors or whatever about Bloodborne 2 and then Bloodborne Remake or whatever, and he's like, sources in the description, and if you click on it, you know, it's like, this is fake or whatever. Right, but some people just run with things. You know, they just don't even look. They don't even bother to check anything or whatever. I would hope that's not how some of these real rumors started and leaks from somebody making up shit. But you never know, man. Like, some people have
Started in a party chat.
Yeah, I mean, there are people that try and make fake lists of like, oh, E3 games revealed or like Summer Game Fest games revealed, and they put those out there as like a real thing, trying to. And they, you know, they usually it's like the screen is captured from off to the side, you know what I mean? And it's like
you got to make it look blurry.
You know,
Exact same image
Someone's
from
running
the year
away.
before, it's just different games on it. It's
yeah,
like,
exactly.
wait, I saw that last year. It's like, and then people forget about that because they have goldfish brains.
Yeah, there
and it's
was
like,
one that somebody made this year that was really compelling. It was really good, actually. I was like, wow, they put a lot of work. I can't imagine putting that much fucking work into something just for a joke or to be fake. Like, my literal list was like fucking done on a notepad, and I used Snippet on a fucking PC, and I put it out there, and people still thought that was real, even though it said it was fake. But like, some of these people like actually make all this realistic art in like game art and shit, and like do all this work to try and
They make it look like they're about to run away from their executives. They go like this. add a little blur to it. Like I'm about to run away. I took a picture of it. Yeah.
It's just crazy
They
what
put-
like it tells you what people will go through to try and get something passed on as a real rumor to no benefit really of their own except for some attention, right? So like
Clicks.
you just gotta see some of this stuff. Maybe like even some of the people sending information to some might not be authentic,
Judge it for yourself.
Game Shark with the $2 super chat says everyone's their own insider, no cited sources. I will say that you're not going to cite your sources. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, you could say somebody within Microsoft or somebody within blah, 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 but you can't
You're not going to say his name.
you can't say their name because like you're going to get them in trouble. Like,
Well, Sarah
found
Bond
him
told
counting.
me last night.
yeah, no, exactly.
You know,
Like, yeah, like if your source is like somebody that works at a dev studio or like that works for some business that has these kind of information and they leak it, like you can't say who it is. You just can't do that, right? Because first off, you're not going to get any more information. Second off, you probably fucked that person out of a job. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
like that's if those are how the sources come down, like then
Mhm.
like it's just you'd be an asshole.
I mean, some people do sources, like what Poison just said. They do sources, but they don't. They do it differently. Like there'll be like someone from inside of Insomniac told me X, Y, and
Right.
Z.
Yeah, you could say maybe something like that,
They might, but sometimes they even avoid that to protect, just to ultra protect the person, which I understand. Like on that side.
And a lot of them,
but-
like Jez, I think he said it before. It's like he doesn't like report anything unless he's got like multiple people saying the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like
Correct.
you
Or
got to
be
like
like
kind of
people-
validate
Yeah.
that information.
People close
Yeah.
to the
A
game.
couple of different sources.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite
Yeah,
one.
like I would never say Phil Spencer's my uncle. I never say that. So
Okay. Sources close to the game is my favorite one. That's used a lot, right? It's like,
Yeah.
is that really citing your source? Like, so
yeah, I mean, if you have someone who's done it, like Jez, for example, a couple times, where he's kind of said over time, like, yeah, this is pretty much confirmed at this point, and you can only really say that if you have multiple people come to you and then give that sort of source. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It is like a little tricky to give your source.
like I can imagine. Okay, so whoever's mag is getting the information from, right? Like, there's probably one person or maybe two or whatever, like that's giving him this kind of information, right? So it's like different than like a Schreier that probably has like a little black book of names and all these different places that he can call. So like it's a little different from like mag, like
that's a
to
burnt
cite
bridge
his
there.
source that as opposed to like somebody like Schreier. You know what I mean? Or like if I had been like
Schreier, I
somebody,
picture like calling an event.
like
Just,
imagine that back
Yeah.
on one of our shows, like 3-bit, like back then, like 3 years ago, like somebody that works at Ubisoft told me there might be a Splinter Cell game coming or whatever, and
Yeah.
you're fucking on the show. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
you can't do that, but like it's
Yeah.
I get where people come from too, or like another trust me bro thing. It comes across that way. And sometimes some of the trust me bro people are right and sometimes they're not, but like it is crazy when you see that kind of stuff out there, but you don't really have any as a viewer or reader or listener or whatever, you don't have any way to like trust it or back it up other than just your faith in the person presenting it to you. Right?
Yeah,
So,
I mean that's all you can do, right?
yeah.
I mean, this is it's an interesting industry because this industry is like leak central, and people want so many leaks because it's so secretive. Like no one really knows how the gaming industry works until you're in it, and for the most part everything is like top secret, top notch. Meanwhile, like movie studios are just having people take pictures, and it is what it is. And I don't know why the gaming industry is so secretive about everything. Like we didn't know about the process for like how they did deals with like Sony or all that is just leaked through court documents where we're forced to see it. Like, oh, so that's how pricing structure works for different companies with PlayStation or Xbox. We're basically forced to get that information. And even if you are a developer, you probably don't even see that side. I mean, most likely you won't see that side either. So like there are parts of the industry that even like are segregated from each other, that like you can be a developer, but you'll never know how Xbox does business. So like when someone says they're an insider, like I heard from X, Y, and Z, that may be from a developer who knows nothing about the actual decisions that goes in between companies. Maybe that was something they heard, but that's why it's just like it's interesting to me, like the whole gaming industry as a whole, because people really want all these leaks because of how secretive it is. Yeah.
Alvin with a $5 super chat says, if it makes you feel better, the direct is this week. The Rangers won the championship, and the Baker is giving my Eagles a prostate exam. No lube. Holy shit. Yeah, man. Honestly, nothing with football makes me feel better. Like, it's as somebody
I see everyone ripping on Dallas, but the Dolphins, they haven't won a playoff game in like 16 years or something like that, like 20 years.
Or the Browns or the Lions.
The Browns never won the goddamn fucking Super Bowl. What the fuck you talking about?
I feel bad. I feel worse for Psycho, right? But like
that was a fucking embarrassment. I was like, what am I watching?
That Packers
Where's his number one defense? Didn't come to that fucking game.
What are you talking about, the Browns or the Cowboys? Because you're literally talking
Browns
about
to the fucking
that's the same description.
Houston Texans.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, does anyone ever bet on the Browns?
Yeah.
Oh,
but yeah, as far as the Eagles, if they end up losing, Alvin, I'm sorry.
It's 31-9 in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
I don't think they can turn that around. Yeah.
But
if they can turn that around, I call a fix.
Somebody last night was like, "Don't worry, Matt. Maybe it'll be time to celebrate when the Bucks like beat the Eagles." I'm like, I don't give a fuck. Like after watching that game last night and seeing the Packers go out and destroy the Cowboys, they did, and we get knocked out of the first round with one of our potential best teams the Cowboys have had since the 90s. You think I give a fuck about what the Eagles do for the rest of the season? I could care less about the fucking Eagles. They could go out there and lose every game in lose the first game of the playoffs. They could lose every game fucking next season. I don't give a shit. And that moment right there, I'm just pissed off at the fucking Cowboys. How do you go out there and you pull that shit at home? You finally got a home playoff game and against a 9-8 fucking Packers team, and you go out there and get fucked in the ass on national TV. What the hell are you doing? They just got destroyed. I don't give a fuck about what the
cold
Eagles
got to
do.
them.
I don't give a fuck about the Giants, the Redskins, Commanders, whatever the fuck their name is now. I don't give a shit about anybody. The NFL does not exist to me today at all. The Cowboys lost. It's over. It's done. It's over with. No more. Fuck the Eagles. I don't give a shit. They can win. They can lose. Doesn't matter.
You'll be back next year, man.
Yeah.
That was how you really feel.
Well, yeah, that's how it goes. All right, we got fucking spring season.
Matt, you said you were going to ask me a question.
When
Do you
I was
remember
like
what it was?
destroyed, I was thinking like, oh, but I hope the Eagles lose. No, I was fucking devastated. It's like, I don't care. I don't care. Oh, the Eagles, I'm going to feel better tomorrow. Fuck that. I won't feel better until next season starts. And then I'll have false hope again.
Do you think it was a coaching problem, or do you think it was the players?
Oh, shut up. I don't know what I'm talking about.
They got too cold for them. It was like 10 degrees in Dallas. It's too cold. They don't have to play in that.
Oh, yeah, I know. It was just everything.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You got that.
Do you remember
quarterback?
Coach.
Do you remember what you were gonna say, Mav?
No.
No.
What is our show about? I just got transported back to like 12 hours ago.
People making up fake rumors.
Or
no, Mav said he was
hours
going to ask me. He was going to ask me something, but I don't remember what he was going to say.
Oh yes. Co-developing, right?
Where's Beyond Good and Evil 2 3-bit?
Hold on, Ryu Art with the
I can't
Ryu
talk.
Art Gaming with the $2 super chat says 3-bit is my insider and he'll fight all your insiders. There you go. Right
I'm not an insider.
on.
And the thing
Well,
is,
you literally are an insider because you are inside the industry.
well,
You
yeah,
are.
but still, I don't consider myself an
No,
insider.
you don't even tell us what the fuck is going on. How can
Yeah.
you be an insider?
We had to
Unless
like,
you're telling your
guess.
girlfriend, but that's different.
Wait, is 3-bit the one that leased it to Mac?
You
Oh,
didn't tell
Oh,
us.
don't do that!
Mm.
Don't do that!
I don't know what you're talking about.
No, so
We'll see
like
on
what I want to know,
Inside
3-bit,
Gaming.
from your experience, because you work like what do they call it, Slack channels and stuff like that, like.
Oh, I
Sure,
thought you were
yeah.
talking about 4chan.
You know that you know where all the developers talk to each other and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know you can't tell me any inside information or whatever, but like these different teams usually communicate and stuff using those channels for the games and stuff
Yeah.
like that, right? To share information and assist and all that kind of stuff. Like, within Microsoft, though, your experience, though, like
Mhm.
in one game, like if you're working on one game, how often do you see people from other teams there?
A lot. But I'm trying to figure out how to say that with
Yeah,
like
you
context.
can't. Yeah, exactly. Like it's. So
A
I
fair
think a
amount.
lot more hands.
Like
working
sometimes
on
it's
some of
small stuff.
These, yeah,
It's like sometimes it could be. I'll just say like sometimes it could be like really small things. Just like we had a question about this thing that's happening, or
and so
it's
it
hard
could
to
be a
talk
team
about
that's
this
not
without.
necessarily even working on the game, though, right? Because it's like
Right.
all like a team, like it's a big team,
Right.
kind of at the end of the day with different development studios, and you may
Sometimes
one-
there's not. It doesn't even have to be game development. It could be marketing, like different teams from marketing over at like let's say let's use an example studio like Coalition and pick one.
343.
Undead Labs.
Okay, Undead Labs. There you
Three
go.
for,
That's a good one.
okay. 343 and Undead Labs. Let's use them. Let's say Undead Labs is pushing their new DLC for State of Decay 2, and they're making a new map, but they really are focused on development of the game. They don't have enough marketing people to push it on Twitter or whatever. They'll get someone from Coalition, like, oh, we have a lot of video people on our team, or oh, we know someone who can make promotional resources within your game who knows Unreal Engine pretty well. Let's get some people from Coalition to go ahead and help them. That's just an example. I'm not saying that happened, but like that's how, when you are within the Microsoft ecosystem, the branch, they can share resources. Now, I will say some studios are more stringent upon who they want, unless it's like they are basically like, we are going to keep it within our team and we will hire who we need to hire because we want to keep our DNA within ourselves. It that can happen as well. So with Machine Games situation, it could be, let's just say Mag is not right. It could just be Machine Games, they're working Indiana Jones and no one else is helping them. So it really does depend on it's a lot of things like timeline, like how fast do we want this game to come out? How many devs are we having on one section? Maybe we need more devs. Like, let's talk with different studios, see who they have available because it's within, like a branch is very much connected. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of reasons why you might get people from other studios or why you might want to keep everything internal. I will say the preference is to keep a lot of things internal. Those are the DNA of their studios, but not to say they don't share quite a bit from other studios. So it really depends on resources, timelines. It's a lot
even
of
the
reasons.
last Wolfenstein, they Machine Games had help with from Arcane on it, Youngblood.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so it does happen quite a bit.
Do
Yeah.
you think like different developers mixed it up in a Slack chan type environment could have mistaken for being worked on the game from somebody that had access to it?
So like
Okay, so let's say somebody from that or whatever had access to it for a temporary period of time, right?
Mm-hmm.
And could see it when everybody's talking and see somebody from 343 or somebody from like, this studio and this studio all talking about that game, right? With answering questions about it. Could somebody potentially like mistakenly think that those teams are co-developing it based on the conversations?
I would say it's pretty clear on who's who.
Is it
just based on how they're either labeled or it's the whole team sort of knows what's going on. So it's not like a mistake unless you're an outsider like hacking into someone's computer.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying I'm saying like somebody that, or maybe it's a contractor or something that's
maybe someone who doesn't have context.
Right.
Yeah, that can happen.
Yeah,
because there's a lot of people who contract and maybe they don't have full context of the who's in the team or whatever. Like, hey, that person's right there.
And so
they're working.
Maybe that person be like, oh, look what I just learned about this thing, and or something like that.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to say like how sometimes maybe information could get out there that could be different from what is actually
maybe they
reality
literally just did like a dot on their website, like 343. You're like, oh, let me just put the dot here.
Yeah,
like, that could happen. If contractors don't have, there's a lot of contractors at a lot of the studios. Usually they get limited access to certain things depending on what they're working on. I technically was a contractor, but I had a very special sort of weird situation going on because I worked on different departments, so I had a little bit more access than the typical contractor might. But not to say that a contractor can't look at certain things and be like, hey, what the heck, I didn't know that. It is what it is. But that, I guess that could happen. Yeah,
it's funny too. I think a lot of times, like, people think that if you're a developer, just know everything about the game.
No,
right?
No,
and I think that's a misconception, like, because a lot of times, like, you may have like a specific role or something assigned to you.
I mean, it's like this. You go into the front office and the secretary is not going to know like how to code the fucking game. She just works in the office. It's like, oh yeah, I'm going to sign you into the office. Right. She doesn't like necessarily know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah,
so like
that's a very big mistake.
You could literally work on a game for months, right, and then not see what the game is because you just did a specific thing about it.
For example, I could say this. Like I was working on Fable and different things, seen mocap sessions of a black guy, Afro, didn't know who he was until I saw the fully developed trailer that was later revealed. It's like, like you put things together. Like you may see pieces of certain like concept, or you may be working on whole sections of a game, but you are an ant in a in a chamber of other people working. You're a cog in the wheel. You're helping push a big title towards completion. So you're focused on your section. You're trying to get it done. And you may not see the whole pie unless you are a higher position, like a director or something, who's kind of overseeing everybody. Which I'm not a director at any of these studios I've worked at. But so I may know some things that a lot of people outside the industry do not know, like how dev pipelines work, what I've worked on certain games. But I'm sure there's a lot of stuff I don't know of games I worked on. It just,
I mean, that's just any job though. Like,
exactly.
You know how to do your job, but you're not necessarily going to know how to fucking manage the whole company. It's like you don't know every part of it.
Animator isn't going to be the person making the decision on a release date, right? They just know what their deadline is for a specific task that they have. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
Like, I feel like sometimes, so like, there's a lot of people out there in the industry doing different jobs, but like even a developer on a game that could give inside information to somebody may get things wrong about the game that they're working on.
Yeah.
Right. So there's a lot of information that can be like misconstrued or like put out there or like out of context and stuff. So it's like when a lot of these rumors start swirling and going off like this, it's kind of like, let's see. We all have to like. I love speculating about it, right? But like, I don't like pretending to know 100% about something, because unless I know 100% about something,
like unless you're Phil, anything could change.
And even even if I had somebody telling me something that I had confidence that because of where they came from or where they're getting their information, I still wouldn't be 100% on it. You know
Fair.
what I mean? Because things can still change and things can happen, and or the person that you're getting it from may not have the whole story or whatever. Like, unless Phil Spencer or like one of the heads of these studios or something like that has news, like every single rumor that's out there, every single insider thing that's out there needs to be taken with a grain of salt, and it's part of speculation, and it could happen. There could be truths to all this kind of stuff, but like
Until it's announced and out, like it could get canceled at any moment, and like you just never know. So it's like
Exactly.
and
And Jason, yeah, go ahead.
the issue is that I think what's happened the last couple of weeks is like, especially with the third party stuff and these kind of things, like there's just been so much of that stuff going on where people are taking it as fact and running around with it and letting it affect and have negative conversations about things when it's like based on some rumors that we don't know where the sources are or any
Yeah.
information about
Even if the
where it
people
came from.
believe what they're saying is true, like if these developers like this is what I heard, it still isn't the full picture of what in totality, because they're not the decision makers at the end of the day. The decision makers at the end of the day are the heads of that studio or Matt Booty or Phil Spencer. So they're the ones with the final say. So unless you are talking to Matt Booty who's saying Starfield is going to PlayStation, you're probably wrong. And I see Jason Max said you never had a desire to take a pic and leak stuff. Obviously, yes, right? Obviously, I would love that, but I don't,
there's more
because I
important
value
things
my
you
job.
like. Yeah, you're like,
I
gotta make
like
money.
working. I like having a career and working and doing stuff like that. I will say I'm not so much on the game dev side. Something I realized was the game dev side. I did feel very much like I was saying, like a cog in the wheel, almost too small sometimes. Like I was like, dang, like I am this little thing, and then yeah. So I didn't feel like I was having as much of an impact as I was like. So that's why I moved more into the commercial side of getting more of a say. And now I'm directing my first commercial. So I'm more so on the commercial side of things, but I do love game development. There is something about game development that I find that's very special. But dang, game development. Here's the thing: the community kind of sucks for game development because for example, I will work on let's say a rock or a tree for days, weeks, hours, months, and someone will play that game and be like, "That rock is trash," and then just like so that's where I'm just like,
work.
all that work that you just did, where someone's like, "That rock sucks. Look at that lowly polygon," or whatever people will say. Like game developers and people who consume content are, I mean, they can be
Fickle.
harsh critics.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little more cyclical, and which I am too. So I can't even fault them for it. Sometimes I'll be like, "Man, this game is trash," right? But it can do something to you. Sometimes you're just like, man, I worked on this dang rock for like a week, and then someone on YouTube just said it was trash, and
Isn't that
Yeah.
the entire tidbits thing of you saying this logo's trash? This logo's
yeah, exactly. I said I do it too, so I can't even fault
Yeah, I mean, we've seen
anybody
some
for it.
bad
We all do
trailers
it.
on tidbits, and like we will let loose
Yeah.
on those things sometimes. But like, you know what? Sometimes
Yeah.
things shouldn't exist because they suck, right?
Yes, I mean, and there are bad creations. There's good creations and there's bad creations, right? And it's not for everybody. I'm not saying like
Yeah.
protect all game developers or whatever, but I don't know. There's something that is special about game development, and there's something I will always love about it. But it is definitely a cog where that industry is very mistreated too. Like I talked about this a little bit on other shows, but when I was working at Ubisoft, that wasn't the best experience I've ever had. There was a lot of things I experienced while working at Ubisoft, which is like It was bad. It was bad. Everybody in this panel knows exactly what I'm talking about, but like I won't go fully into detail. But what I will say is, it's like the development industry, how they treat developers, is kind of trash sometimes. So that is trash. How they do, how they treat developers in a lot of cases. That still needs to be worked on. And until that is done, we'll see. But in terms of all these rumors, my advice to everybody in our chat, and everybody and who watches our shows know that we try to be as genuine as we can. We try to spit facts no matter who's listening. And I'll say, like, don't believe these rumors until like it's either confirmed or by someone you trust.
But have fun speculating on them.
But have fun speculating. Yes, I will never be a sore for like people speculating on things, and it's fun, right? It is a part of this channel. We love fun speculating. We love trying to figure out games that are coming up in the future, and basing it off of things that we know, or history of different studios. Like, I don't know if Indiana Jones is going to be first or third person. It could be first because of Machine Games, but it could be third. You know,
It's gonna be
we
fourth.
don't know. It's gonna be fourth person, first and third. I don't know, but I would say just be wary of people's intentions with different stuff. Like people like Reforge, who I feel like are not genuine people. Be careful of people who just want clout, who only want to say these rumors like, oh, my source told me this, and his cousin told me that the next Mortal Kombat is gonna have Master Chief, and it's gonna, just be careful of people like that, and have fun speculating, and that is all. Be careful of disingenuine people.
I want to go through these just kind of one by one real quick and get a quick real or not. Okay. Yep. Xbox releasing a big third party game to PlayStation this year. I mean, other than the obvious Bethesda stuff that we already, yeah, call it. I mean,
it's gonna be Call of Duty,
Activision Blizzard stuff. Yeah, other than the obvious Activision Blizzard stuff and the stuff that's already. Yeah, are they taking? Do y'all believe this is true or no?
Not true.
I'm gonna say false.
Jasper,
I think it was at one point, but it's not anymore.
Or you think the pressure from the community got them to snub that?
No,
now,
I think that it was like something that they had in development for at one point, and then Xbox is like, it's actually, nah, we're gonna cut that idea. We're gonna just keep it. Like, I think Xbox probably talked about it for a minute, and then it was
he said this year though, Jasper, and he said he was very sure.
I'm just saying, like, I mean, it could be even like something like what Grubb said with like Sea of Thieves. Like, maybe Xbox had it in the works at one point, and then just like, well, it's not worth it anymore, so they just canned it. So I think at one point this rumor was true, and it's not anymore.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I say false.
I say false. I mean, unless there's a secret Minecraft game in development, which I think there is a third one, but I don't think it's anywhere near ready. Yeah. Mm-mm. I don't think they get anything. Maybe a remaster of something.
I think it's something that's not that big of a deal that they made it this kind of rumor and put it out there like this, so that way it would turn into a big talking point. But like
Oblivion or something. Like, yes, I believe it could be something like a legacy title, because you said Game of the Year contender. So like
the year that it came out, right? So like, in my mind, what I asked you guys before, like, could it be something like Sunset Overdrive, right? Like, because PlayStation owns it now. Like, could they do like a update and put that game out on PlayStation? Maybe. And
PlayStation could, but I thought that was seen in their leak, the Insomniac leak, that was canceled.
I don't know. Maybe. I thought Sunset Overdrive 2 was canceled.
Yeah, Sunset Overdrive 2. So you're thinking they would just
like some
do
kind of a port
or
something, see if there's interest on it. It wouldn't be that expensive. I don't know.
Maybe.
Just a thought.
I still think remaster or update for Fallout 4 is about as close as they get.
Yeah. And those are legacy titles, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Oblivion did hit PlayStation after it hit later, right? So, like,
And it's rumored that they're working on the Fallout remaster.
TV show.
yeah.
Oblivion remaster is supposed to be this
yeah.
year, and I think Fallout remaster is supposed to be next year.
So
Next year.
that spread into I know the other rumor that Hi-Fi Rush was coming onto Switch. Do y'all think this is true or false?
False.
I want to think it's false. I hope it's false. That's just my 2 cents on it.
I think it's false.
Think it's false, Jasper?
False.
Yeah, I know Psycho keeps putting in the YouTube chat that he'll be right back. So I don't know if he's back yet, but I will say that one's tricky because it's something I could see them doing. You know what I mean? Just because, like, somebody made a comment on our YouTube. I can't remember the name. But they explained Tango Gameworks is the only Japanese studio that Microsoft has currently.
I did see that. Yeah, that was a good point.
And Xbox is like, no, it doesn't have the big of a presence in Japan, and like, could Tango kind of because of that reason want to, to try and see it in their own market and all that kind of stuff. They played and have a chance more in their market as well in Japan, and maybe there could be something to that, but like,
also Tango's never put a game out on Switch either.
Yeah, I'm so, yeah, that's a good point. Like, so that I'm so like 50-50 on that one, but I'll say no. No for you too.
Okay.
What about the PlayStation third game that we talked about earlier?
Fuck no.
Okay, that's false.
Except for Call of Duty. Yeah. And Tango Gameworks is not the only Japanese studio Xbox has now.
Right. I see Spider-Man said Bethesda said not happening. Yeah, that was that like Game Inquirer person about Starfield.
I still don't know who that is. Like,
he's
who the
within
heck
the
is
industry.
this?
They're like,
it was funny because he was making the Game Inquirers make fun of Reforged. Like, you're too small to have any inside information. I'm like, who the fuck is Game Inquirer?
I love their put down of Reforged, but it was funny seeing them do it because I'm like,
everybody.
I said they were owned by a studio, so I was like, "Who is the studio?"
Yeah.
Like, well, what do you mean a journalistic website is owned by a studio? That seems like a conflict of interest. But anyway, so I went to see who the studio was, and I can't find any it's called Buzzsaw Studios, but I can't find like any information about them or what they do or anything. Like, I'm not trying to say they don't do good work.
I mean, it was a great response. Same thing.
Yeah, I
was
care.
like,
I fucking loved it. I was like, yeah, go Game Inquirer. I've never heard of you before, but yeah, you have journalistic integrity, and you're letting that motherfucker have it. Yeah, let's go.
Your own hype man.
I'm like, who are you?
Yes, it was funny, man. But they laid the smackdown on that response, and in just a funny way. Like, it's. I feel like they are interesting, but maybe they do actually have contacts in Bethesda.
I thought it was funny because he said, "Oh, I was just joking, man." After all that, and I was like, "What?" So you're agreeing that what you said was full of shit? That you're just doing it for clicks? Are you agreeing to that right now? And no, I don't think anyone really picked that up. So I'm just like, okay, Reforge. Yeah.
It's just annoying, man. Like, that you can, this is this like third, fourth time that this person has made, Reforge has made a video that Starfield is coming to PlayStation. Before he was like, this is what I heard. And he's doing it again, but he's just being very disingenuous about it. Just saying like that it was his sources. He doesn't have any sources that are saying Starfield is coming to PlayStation. Like, it's clear as day, even in his replies. Like, it's just, it is what it is. Yeah, go ahead.
I was going to say, if I did a parody video that his coffee gives you diarrhea, or if it's laced with laxative, would that possibly get me in legal trouble? I'm just joking. My sources said he was on the toilet for 2 weeks after drinking.
Just a prank, bro. Just a prank.
It's just a prank. That's what he said. I don't know. It wasn't me. It's just like takes all blame. Like he just does it in a way where it takes all blame from him. Like it wasn't me that said it. It was
Yeah.
my sources. But he keeps
He's-
doing that, being
Yeah.
the way it is. But
He's the guy that would take it to litigation. He's one of those guys who's like, my lawyers, you better fucking watch out. They're gonna fucking come after you, man. Oh, okay. Okay. Are they the same lawyers that helped you get out of the
I'll run it
the
past
harassment?
And I forgot this
is
happened.
Defamation.
Yeah.
This
Defamation
happened.
is happening right now. I tell you that.
This is something I forgot happened, but a while ago when he was talking about how Fable was possibly going to other platforms, and I was like, probably not. And then he said in his next video, a Fable developer confirmed to me. And I was like, I didn't say anything to you. I never messaged you. I never said that I'm confirming anything to you. I just said you were wrong. And you were.
He's talking
Like,
about
it's
another
just
Fable developer.
Yeah.
No, he was talking about me.
I know.
He was talking about me. It's ridiculous. I was like, I didn't confirm anything to you. I didn't. He's like, the
Hey,
Fable developer
Fable
was contacting me.
was
I was
in
like,
my chat,
bro.
watching my channel because they work on Fable and they know who to come to for gaming
But he's
information.
not a member, so I had to kick his ass
And,
out.
Yeah.
I didn't confirm anything to you. Like, what the
and
heck are you talking
they
about?
had a
You
very
tried to get in my
in-depth,
Discord,
deep
and I said
discussion
no.
to me, and I'm sharing this with you now. He said no. There we go. Everybody buy my coffee,
Stop.
bitches. Let's go. Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't say anything to you, bro. He was like, he was talking to me and he confirmed. I was like,
Oh,
I didn't
fuck.
say anything to you. Anyways, I just thought that was funny. That was a while ago.
Fudge gaming.
Yeah.
Your mistake was probably saying you can't
Jack
give you
Fudge
full
gaming more like it.
All right. So
I
that's
He
Reforged
seems like he gets
defecates in
pegged.
the coffee? Is
What?
that what I didn't say that.
Yeah, that gives that smooth.
That's not defamation, that's
nutty
defecation.
That's
That's
Sorry.
that's his hazelnut branded coffee.
Oh,
It's,
okay.
He got that like
Well-
expensive like lemur coffee or whatever where they shit the beans out. So why not him?
It's made out of lemurs?
Or whatever lemurs, whatever
Lemurs?
it is.
in your
No,
coffee.
yeah, they eat the beans and they shit them out, and that's what
Yeah.
gives them robust taste. I'm like, fuck you. I ain't eat monkey shit. Or drinking monkey shit. Go fuck yourself.
Right.
Okay, so let's get into another
What was the
one.
other rumors?
All right, sorry. Wow, how did we get on that train?
I don't even know.
Oh, Tanaka getting canceled. I saw that one going around.
Okay. The Project Tatanka canceled. Truth or false?
I think there's truth to it. I think it's just kind of
Not
It's
as
something
not as
different.
black
It's
and white
changed.
as yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
It
just
changed
say. It's like
momentum.
Partial truth.
right. I think there's a lot of context left out of that.
The
You know what I mean?
standalone game is canceled, more than likely because it's rolled into
That's
the next.
that's part of the danger with leaks and rumors when like there's partial information. You know what I mean too? It's like the kid could be completely still working on the kind of the similar thing that they were working on. It just could be part of another project now and not be standalone. They could have morphed it slightly to fit better with something else, and it could be part of the next big Halo project. You know what I mean? Like, but like without context or information, just to say it's like canceled, or to what other people has DM'd me and said shelved. I think that's like, I
something not
what does
officially
that,
announced.
What does
as
that mean?
show.
Yeah, exactly. What does that mean exactly? So, I think there's some context left out of the initial things, right? All right, so
I don't trust anything IGN says anyway. So.
Ignorant Gaming Network.
So let's see. What was the other one? Oh yeah. So let's go with a special Nick one that there is something coming to Xbox that's going to blow up that the internet's going to explode.
Foam Stars. Game.
I mean, this is so vague. Like,
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Oh, no, he was in our
Yeah,
chat.
that's
He
very-
could have
Well,
It
the
could be at the
summer,
Dev Direct.
the summer game fest, like that, people running around with this, and they were saying Spider-Man, all this kind of crazy stuff. Really, that was a joke, when they said that. People were actually running
Yes.
around with
A lot
that.
of people are running
Uh,
around with Final Fantasy, which I think could be a thing, but
I mean,
Yeah.
there's reason to believe Final Fantasy could be coming to Xbox this year for sure.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
Any
but
Square
would that
Enix
break the
game that
internet
was
because that's almost
I
like
mean,
an expectation?
honestly, though, like that's what I'm saying. Like, I think people are kind of being like too literal with this, thinking of games we already know about. Like, if I was taking that as like it could be like a Star Wars IP or like
Right.
some like big IP like that. Like, that's what would blow up the internet for me. Like, not Final Fantasy VII coming over. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think them acquiring Square, that would break the internet. At least
No, yeah.
on the pony side of things.
Wasn't there
Dude,
something that
they'll
they
have
didn't
a fucking
announce last
meltdown.
year,
They would
3-bit,
die.
that you thought they might announce?
Putting them
who?
on the spot.
Xbox.
Who, me?
Yeah.
You're the only 3-bit, bro.
What did I say?
What, last year at the show?
What did you say?
Plausible deniability.
Honestly, don't remember.
I'm asking you, was there something that you had expected to see or
Oh,
last
yeah,
year?
yeah. I did, yeah.
Okay.
And it wasn't there.
Right. So is
Has
that
Yeah.
since been
something that
announced,
maybe
or-
Nick could be? Would that qualify?
No,
No.
not really. I don't think that would blow up the internet.
Okay.
So
Has
something
that-
that would blow
that
up the
much-
internet, like that context,
Yeah.
I the only thing I could think of is like Final Fantasy or something. Like what would blow up the internet?
Microsoft
'cause
acquiring Square.
The things I know are already kind of known. They're kind of games that either have been rumored or announced already.
Yeah, so it has to be like Jasper saying, I think like maybe it's a surprise game or something,
So yeah, if it's a surprise game that I don't know, I mean that's possible.
Or Xbox is getting the complete edition of Final Fantasy VII Remake, and it's all the first two in one package. When 6 months they have exclusivity for PlayStation?
No, for the
Either
first
3 or 6 months.
3 for this one, 16 was 6 months.
Yeah.
So how many months is Final Fantasy Rebirth?
3.
3.
3 months?
Yeah.
3 months
Mhm.
exclusive.
Yeah, that's what it
Yes.
said on
So,
the trailer.
okay.
Yeah.
But
So it
that
could
thing,
be 3 months.
I
So
mean, that doesn't
maybe-
really mean much because 16's been out for over 6 months now.
Has it?
Um,
When did it come out?
I mean, yeah, Final Fantasy VII should have already came
16
to
came
Xbox,
out
so that's the point.
when?
And what, July, right? Or
Yeah.
No,
It's been about 5 months, I
no,
think.
16?
Yeah, so, no, it came out September, maybe? August?
No.
June
It was
22nd.
June?
yeah.
So has that been
it
6
was
months?
June.
Yeah, it's fucking January. It's fucking...
Well, it's about 6 months. It's like roughly like right on the mark is what I'm saying. Like I wouldn't say
Well,
that Final Fantasy
technically-
16 not being here would mean much yet.
7 days.
Final Fantasy 7 remake part
Next
1,
week it'd be 6 months.
that one originally said 6 months as well, I think, and that one's still not on Xbox. So then they came out with the Intergrade, right?
One thing that would break the internet that I could think of is kind of what Jez has been like. Oh, Spider-Man, that would break the internet. But
See,
it's just
I-
'cause it's
I
so
think that-
vague; it could literally be anything.
Now,
I
if
think-
go ahead.
I think
Like,
there is a
the-
possibility of Spider-Man, but not the one you're thinking of. I
Yeah.
don't think it's the PlayStation Insomniac one.
The
I think
old one.
it's a refresh maybe or just a added to the store of the originally licensed ones from Activision.
Yeah, I know it's just.
But I don't think that's the break the internet. I think that's a possibility, but I honestly think the break the internet is Final Fantasy 16
Wolverine.
comes, Final Fantasy 7 comes. We already
That's-
know Final Fantasy 14 comes to Xbox. So
Mhm.
and it's wrapped up with the announcement that we now own Square Enix.
Okay, yes.
Even like
I think
even
that's
would
the break the
help.
internet.
even Final Fantasy coming over though, like I don't see that breaking the internet. The only thing that's going to do is it's going to be like a big console war thing just for like a couple days, and then it's going to be forgot about. Like I don't know.
So that
I
that
don't
would
think it'll
probably
be
be
forgot
the
about.
only thing I
It'll
could.
be a big console war thing until probably the next game that's announced from them that won't be coming to PlayStation, and then it'll fire up even more so. I think. Trying to think, Foam Stars
Yeah,
would
that's
be
gonna
that
break the
weird
fucking
one
internet.
where, well, it would probably come to PC Game Pass and not be allowed to come to console Game Pass for a set amount of time, and then
Yeah.
that would be the only oddball thing out of the existing contracts or something.
I don't know.
with
When I
owning
picture
them.
break the internet, I'm picturing like GTA 6 trailer, fucking announcement of we're acquiring Activision Blizzard, like that kind of like level shit. When they hear
Yeah.
break the internet,
Like GTA 6 announcing Game Pass, that would break the internet. I would think. But would someone tell that to Special Nick? I don't know. I don't think someone would tell Special Nick GTA 6 coming
Yeah,
to
but
Game
wasn't
Pass.
that? But
Or
wasn't
even
it?
Square Enix
Yeah, I
being
mean, those are
bought
too
by
far-fetched.
Microsoft,
Like,
you know.
But wasn't it more of a PlayStation game, or was it on PlayStation first and coming to Xbox now? Is that what it was?
What?
Or
What?
the whole
What, the rumor?
breaking the internet? The
No,
rumor
Special
how
Nick
it
just
started.
he heard a thing that would if he had said it, it would break the internet. That's all he's fucking said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a PlayStation thing.
I thought it was on PlayStation, and that's why it would break the internet, because we didn't think that it would come to Xbox.
No. All we know is that whatever game
Okay.
He
It
just
will
someone
break the
sent him a
internet.
title of a game that said it's coming to Xbox, and then he's like, "This would break the internet if I told you what it is," but that doesn't mean anything.
I mean,
he was in here earlier. I wish I could ask him exactly what he said.
yeah, Special Nick.
Maybe he's
tell us.
lurking.
Just DM him.
Maybe he's lurking.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
see.
no.
I don't know.
I
It
don't.
could, because it's subjective too. Because a game
Nope.
that could break the internet to Nick may not be the one I thought would
Well,
break
it
the
seemed
internet.
like they all had that
I mean-
reaction on the panel because he shared it. I think,
Oh,
with
'cause they
Nick,
saw
yeah.
it?
Or, I mean, with
Oh, okay.
with John, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe it is.
I would say Grand Theft Auto is off the table. I mean, there is this small chance that it comes to Game Pass, but if it comes to Game Pass, I don't think people are going to like why it comes to Game Pass.
Yeah.
Because it'll be a subscription model game that you can't buy anyway. It'll be like WoW, but for consoles.
There's a clip on his Twitter, Luis says. On Nick's?
Oh,
Yeah,
when
I
he's
think
on the
it was like a
podcast.
4-minute.
Was it?
Yeah, there was like a 4-minute video, like only like 30 seconds of it was useful, but
I always have
Poison
trouble finding his.
yeah, Poison just DM me. I'll DM it to you.
Okay, thank you.
Poison? Oh yeah, never mind. I was like, Poison's on Twitter, and I forgot.
I saw
he
the
is.
clip earlier. I just can't remember exactly what it said. I guess I could always come prepared and actually have these things ready for a show.
He clarified the rumor. He got poison.
Okay.
What was it? Just a joke to get people riled up?
What are you giggling at?
Okay.
What are you giggling at?
I'm watching.
Wait.
it
My
now.
Discord notification went off.
Where?
Oh no! Go on.
Oh yeah, he
what's
didn't
going
even
on?
say break the internet. So
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that.
Where'd
What
that
is it?
rumor? Break
The
the
person
think
who
that
sent me
was
this is
somebody
watching
else.
right now, and I'm talking to
I
them
don't
directly.
see it,
I'm not doing
Jasper.
that.
I just
I
DM'd
am
you
not
to
doing
Matt.
that.
Oh, but, I mean,
Why?
No,
Don't do that.
no way.
Hey, it's name a game. Stick.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I
I'll
gotta
put it in
check
the.
with my
It's just,
sources.
yeah.
I'll put it in the family thing.
I mean, it like, what if the thing he was even sent was like just like a joke in the first place? You know what I mean? Could just been having fun with it. You know?
Yeah.
Like, don't know.
Oh yeah. So he was watching it live, and he's like, "I'm not gonna do that." That's kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
So-
like, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. It's like that's all I said. He just kept saying, I'm not doing that. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that.
So who knows? Could be anything or it could be nothing, right? Then let's see. There's Contraband looks amazing. Do y'all believe
Yep.
this? That 8-player
Um,
co-op, all those details on it.
I believe there's probably a bit of truth in there. I guess
I
we'll see.
believe that people should look up what the devs already said about the game, which not in mainstream news articles, not just like Contraband announced by Xbox. Not going to tell you anything. There are
Talking about interviews and
devs
stuff.
talking about dev interviews where they are talking about the game, and then find out what they say. Because like I feel like that happens where devs say certain things about the game. It's never really in big articles, and then some people report on it. They're like, "Oh look, uh, it's confirmed that this game is going to be like this, like this, like this." That they got from a smaller article that's never been widespread. Happens way too often than more people would like to admit. And then people, when they look like, who said this? Who's more credible? That's what happens, in my opinion. So
So you think
that's all.
You
That's
saying
all
this
I'll say
stuff
there.
could just be public information?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I would just look up what some devs already said about the game and see if it matches up. That's it. That's all I'll say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Why are you blowing up the spot?
I'm just saying. Man.
Okay.
These people out here.
What about the 343 Ghostwire Tokyo id and all working on Indiana Jones?
That is possible.
Partial truth.
Yeah, it could be a partial truth. Like co-developing is a big thing. Co-developing means they should be on that box. Like with Perfect Dark, they have Initiative and who's the other studio? Crystal Dynamics. That's co-development. If you are saying they are in that studio, 343 is walking in there every day, they're like, all right, let's work on this game. You know, that's co-development. And that's a big difference as co-development versus support. Support means every once in a while, like, hey, let's help out with some optimization. Like, oh, let's improve some parts of the engine, or maybe get some extra animators here and there. But for most part, it is just machine games or some other studios that might help, Arcane or whatever. It is just machine games with occasional help from outside too. That is a huge difference. That is something he probably should clarify. Because he said it's a fact. He said he said that, not me. So if it's a fact that they are co-developing, then that means they are going to be somewhat of a thing on that box.
Right.
Again, that I didn't say that. I didn't say Machine Games is working with 343 and all these different stuff, and this is a fact. I didn't say that. So okay, it's a fact. They should be on that box. Because that's not support. Now, if he said, oh, 343 ID is helping
Or
with the
helped
game.
on, or
They're helping. That's a completely different thing. So, hate me, whatever. It is what it is. Like I'm not gonna like hold back what I think just because.
And again, that could just be like semantics, like him saying co-develop. Maybe he just means helping. Maybe he used like bigger words just instead of saying helping,
I haven't seen the full thing, but if he's saying like they have co-developed, they are in that studio every day there, that's that's completely different. So come at me, I don't care. That's what it is. What it is. Those are two completely different things.
Yeah. Do you believe either of those rumors, Jasper?
The Contraband one is like, yeah, whatever. Like, I feel like you can kind of go off like what people have said in the past already, so that one's not really special. So like, I don't even take that as a rumor. And then the one with them helping like with other studios, like, duh, I guess. Like again, it's arguing the word co-development there. Like, I'm sure they're getting help from other people, so whatever that means. Like, I don't know. I feel like it's like such non-rumors rumors. Like I don't know.
Yeah, it's just about this is the stuff that everybody's been going on the last couple weeks, and including all of the whole third party stuff. You know what I mean? Like, what about you,
Feel good
Psycho?
we're breaking all of it down, you know.
I mean,
We're
I think
seeing all
literally
the-
every single rumor y'all have all said no, except for
we haven't gotten to one of them. Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Psycho? Do you believe any of those ones?
Like I mentioned, I believe maybe some hands were at work with this game, but not a co-developed. I think
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
that was just a buzzword. I think he kind of oversold it a little bit, but you know, it is what it is. You know, but I don't think it's totally false. I just think, like I said, some people were helping, and then he just you said what he said, and I think maybe in the moment, and now it's
Yeah, not to say that 3 for 3 and stuff couldn't help. I've seen
Yeah.
personally where studios
But
have
like
helped.
when you come out with new information nobody's ever heard before, and you say something is a fact, people are going to talk about it, right?
exactly.
So
and
like
I think
we're gonna
he-
talk about it like it's no hard feelings to Mag or whatever if like he
no,
doesn't, you know what I mean?
love
But
the
like
guy.
I'm just
Fine.
we're just trying to decipher what the information is, and we're not trying to call him liar. You know, it's
No,
just like
no.
what is information? Is it like real or
He could have
is
just
it not? Or
he
like
could have used
what is somebody
chose his
telling
words
him? Are
better.
they, you know,
he could have just said he could
accurate
have chose
or
his
not?
words a little bit better. You know,
That was the thing.
outside
Like
of-
the co-development thing is like was
Yeah.
interesting, and that could just been like on the fly, like you know,
it could have been.
like
It could have been. And then now it's like, if you try to walk it back, then it looks like the whole thing is not credible. So, you know, it is what it is. That's all I can say. And Mag's a great guy. Love what he puts out there. You know, I think he just got in the moment because he said it live on his show last month. Was it? No, it was not his show.
It was.
It was on.
guess.
It was he was on Risk It for the Biscuits show. What I forget his.
Yeah, he's saying they helped finish the game. I'm listening to the audio. He said they co-developed and helped finish the game.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, co-develop and then help finish is two different things. Like, I mean, I don't know.
was that help
Right,
finish
kinda-
mean optimization, or does it mean like actually developed and designed levels and all that kind of stuff? You know what I mean? Like
it probably was an optimization thing, and like I said, he
I'm
chose
listening. Yeah.
his words, and probably shouldn't have said what he said with the whole co-develop.
unless he's right. Well, I guess we'll find out if they co-develop.
Yeah.
Like you're right, 3-bit. They'll be on the intro screen, right, to the
Correct.
game
Yeah.
or the credits. You know. Again, also, so the Nick thing. He said to clarify, the Reddit user that misquoted has since corrected his OP. I never said anything would set the internet on fire, cause drama, cause tears. All that happened was I got a DM live on air, saw what the DM was, and said, nope, not doing that.
Yeah.
That's how that.
Okay. So that was the full thing of, and then people
So-
speculate, oh, it's gonna set the internet on
Yeah.
fire. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how people got set the internet on fire.
That's what we're
to-
talking. That's exactly
what
what
he
we're talking
said.
about, though.
And that's the
Telephone
shit.
game.
That's the shit. It's like
Yep.
someone relays and adds a little bit the ad lib to it, like, oh, internet's gonna break. Oh, it's a Sony first party, you know. And before you know it, the entire
Elijah said his
platform-
co-host said it.
Yeah, John, I think said it.
Yeah, John said it. So there's these rumors, bro. It's so interesting, like the origin of them and how people like spread it or change it, like what Nate the Hate said, like somehow turned to confirm Hi-Fi
Turned into
Rush coming to
Hi-Fi, yeah.
Switch. Like that's not what he said. But okay. It's just really you really have to figure out what the context of what people are saying. So people also said like because Hi-Fi Rush is coming, Jeff Grubb also confirmed that Hi-Fi Rush
Thieves.
and Sea of Thieves is coming. Like you see how these things kind of start. It's just
Yeah.
And then
Kinda
somebody
craziness.
decided to say Starfield is coming. So
All right. So what about another one? Gear Marcus Phoenix collection. Is this true?
Yes. Yes. There's a lot of smoke behind that one.
I think it's in the works, but I don't know if we're seeing it at the direct or if it's coming out this year, like a lot of people think. That's all
Okay.
I'm gonna say.
Oh,
3-bit.
where did this rumor come from?
Boom.
It started.
No.
It started before Boom.
Yeah,
It started a couple years ago.
It's
actually,
been-
this has been a
It
thing. For a
started
long
in
time.
2015.
It
Like,
might
I
have
remember
started
looking it up
with
the other
Nick.
day.
Actually, I don't remember.
Yeah, didn't Nick start?
I
this?
don't remember. I don't remember where it started, but it's been a thing for a long time, and
Yeah.
people asking for it, and then rumblings. But like one of the latest things was people saying that it's actually in insider like testing right now.
Right. I'm
So-
50-50 on Gears. I'm not sure with Gears.
I think
I want it to be true because I would love to play a Gears collection like again. It's been some time. I wanna replay that game.
the thing I feel is that because they worked on 2 games, and so Gears 2 and 3 were never remastered, like Gears 1 was. So when they said they shelved it to work on Gears 6, they could have been that because they are done and they finished, shelved it until it's ready, until they can, show it off and work on Gear 6. I think that was what happened with this Marcus Phoenix collection. As like Mav said, it happened a while back, and then I think Nick said something in 2021, 2022 that kind of
Mhm.
sparked it again. And then now other people are saying, I'm hearing this now.
Yeah.
So
It's
it could very well be. I just hope that they add, if this is true, that they add cut content that was never put into those games and add it to the game. The whole Maria stuff and
Yeah.
everything else that was cut. I hope that they add it and really give that nice polish and kind of give them a test run of UE5 to work out what they need to work out before they go and do Gear 6. I think that's like the perfect
Yeah.
thing because we haven't heard nothing since Hive Busters. So there's
Yeah.
nothing to say that they couldn't be. A small team was working on this, and then everyone finished Hive Busters, went all in on this, and then like, all right, because they just had to upscale to UE5, tweak some of the coding for because I think it was like UE3 for 2 and 3.
Yeah.
They already
so-
remastered 1 a few years ago, so they probably won't even do anything with that anyway. It's just going to be 2 and 3 that
No,
they're working on. Really.
1 will be just how it is.
Yeah.
But maybe
The latest
I think that
rumors
was
these were going to
UE4.
be all put in UE5.
That was just UE4. So this would be UE5. So that's the only thing. But that's like more of like some coding, light coding for
Yeah, just
that, for
transferring
UE5.
everything over.
Yeah. So I think it's very plausible, and we could see that. I don't think at this developer direct, it could very well be the summer showcase, and then probably given a date sooner than later.
Yeah, I'm kind of I want it to be true.
Yeah.
And it's been around for a long time, so
Yeah.
that does lead me to believe it could be true.
It's a
yeah,
rumor that
just-
keeps
like-
coming back, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the thing is with that, like, initially the rumor started like shortly after MCC came out, so like the rumor was like super weak back then because people were like, "Oh, they fucking made all the Halos. Why not just do it for Gears? Like they have a bunch of Gears games." So like that's kind of where the
Mhm.
rumor initially started, and then it's like it just keeps coming back up, and like I don't know.
Yeah, that is one Jez said he hasn't, as far as I
Yeah,
know,
that's
he
the
hasn't
one
heard
thing.
anything.
Yeah, he
Even
hasn't
back in
heard
the
anything.
day, like people thought it could be Fable, like because they were when we got the new Fable announcement, they're like, "Are they going to remake all the Fables to get you hyped
Yeah.
for the new one?" It's like,
there's I like my gut on this one tells me that this one's real, like for some reason. Like it just makes too much damn sense. Like it just makes
The
too much
rumor's
damn.
been long enough.
Yeah, it makes too
Yeah.
much sense for them not to do it. You know.
I just want to know, like, because I just want to know where the heck the rumors started, because that will determine everything for me personally.
Well, it's one that keeps coming back. I know that
But,
like and
but
so
who did it?
people that seem like ultra confident in this thing, right?
Yeah.
Like they're like it's real, 100%. It's real, and it's like more than one person is like this. You know what I mean? And
Okay.
like for me, it just like seems like it because of that. You know, I feel like it makes a lot of sense as well. Like it's something that is easy to add up and be like, yeah, 1+1 = 2. That it makes sense for them to do that, and it's about the right time, you know. So
Yeah.
like, yeah, I'm not saying it would necessarily come out this year or whatever, but like that's the one I'm more inclined to believe.
I really want it to be true because
Yeah, and plus I
I
want that to be
would
true.
love that. Yeah, that's when I'm like,
I mean,
ooh, I
You
hope
saw
that.
Hive Busters, how beautiful that was in UE5, and I could just
Yeah.
imagine what they
Especially
do.
like Gears, just replaying
Two,
Gears 2. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
that would be
because
so
Gears
sick.
2 was so dark and like, and the story was just phenomenal. But I think to see Maria in UE5 and really detailed because she was sitting there half like barely staying alive, and it's just to see her in the new UE5 format would do so much justice, and then to see Dom and the whole
Yeah,
Delta Squad back again, uh, doing their antics, and just
Yeah.
oh my
yeah.
god.
Plus, there's a
And
TV show coming, right? Like Gears of War show
There's
that
an
they're
anime
working on.
and a live action one, I think.
Yeah, so that could be gearing up, gearing up for that.
Oh,
But
come on.
Marcus, it doesn't make any sense because Marcus Phoenix isn't even in the new games anymore.
The Gears collection was a rumor well before Mag said it. Mag said that it was an insider testing. Right
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I think it's what he had said. And
Okay.
let's see. Safa with a $5 super chat says, I think this is for 3-bit. Was there ever a period in time where crunch was mandatory to finish a game or a project? Well, we know in history, yes.
What was the question?
For you, was there ever a period in time where you had crunch was mandatory?
Yes, it was awful. Crunch is a part of the gaming industry. Now they're starting to get a little bit better with certain studios like Go Home sort of thing, but they honestly like they punish you for going home. Like that's why I kind of do not like the gaming industry. Like you go home, oh, you're not a hard worker. Oh, you don't, it's just it's kind of toxic in that way. But I also think crunch is a necessary. It's like I have a half and half thing about it, right? Where crunch can be toxic in the way where um uh in the way some higher ups can treat it. But I also think crunch can be a good thing because if you have too much time, that leads to development nothing happening. Like pressure is good. I will always stand by that. Like having pressure on developers, on a studio, that's why like games that have like 12-year development cycles always end up failing. Like something like crazy, like 12, 20 years in the making, they always end up failing because like, oh, I got all the time in the world. I could do whatever. If there's no pressure, then like there's pressure and innovation. So if you have someone that's kind of telling you like, hey, we have up until this to do it, you will figure out how to get that done, even if it's run by duct tape and like some little pins, right? So I will always stand by that crunch is good in that aspect. But what I will say is when the higher ups basically have crunches as part of like a toxic work culture, that's what I don't agree with. and maybe have a different stance on that than most people. Like where people, because a lot of people in the media, like your Alana Pierces or whatever, they're like crunch is bad no matter what, and I don't agree with that. My stance has always been like the crunch can be a good thing. There's historically, when you look at games that has had crunch and like, oh, we only have like a week or so to push this out, some amazing features can come out of crunch. Like sometimes whole gameplay features have come out of crunch. And sometimes you got to cut some stuff out, and that can make the game either stronger or weaker. But I do think crunch is good. It really depends.
This is what kind of bothers me a little bit with the crunch. Why is it only in the gaming industry it's called crunch, and everywhere else
it's just
is overtime?
Forced overtime.
It's just yeah.
Like I worked in the steel industry. I used to slit aluminum and copper metal coils into smaller slits of coil rolls. And it was a mandatory. If you didn't volunteer, it went fucking mandatory. Like we didn't have a say. And if you didn't want to work, you couldn't even use your PTO time because it was mandatory if no one volunteered. That's why a lot of people didn't want to do that to everybody. So they're like, yeah, we'll work. Like me and my buddy, we're like, that's fucking extra cash. You know, that's an extra $30 in my fucking pocket an hour. Fuck yeah, let's do this. And then other people are just like, oh no, you can't do this. Yeah. It's crunch. Crunch is bad. Like, shut the fuck up, Jason Schreier. Fucking write another boring ass.
I do not believe crunch is bad.
I mean, I've stood there with you on that, Psycho. Like, for some reason, like the gaming development side, like I don't want anybody to be forced into something like that, like at all, right? But for any profession, you know what I mean? Like for any profession, like for some reason.
And now some of these fucking fancy studios, they got like fucking whole goddamn lunchrooms and fucking bedrooms that you can sleep in.
But like, it seems like the game development, like we all respect game development and stuff. So it's like, you know, we put them on a pedestal. We got to, you know, like we can't talk shit about them or any of that stuff. You're just like, okay, so. Yeah. You know, oh yeah, we just want the best for the devs, and like how this sucks that this is how our games are made.
That's such a weird thing.
So it's like everything, like it. I worked at when I was like 20 years old for a period of time. I worked at Fry's Electronics, right? And they opened up their first location in Dallas, Fort Worth. Okay, and I worked there when they were setting up, we were setting up the store, right? So this was retail, you know. And we had a deadline, right? Like I had to install all the car stereos, all the speakers, the places in the because I worked car audio, like in the fucking car audio section, they had the DVD player things, the screens, all that. I had to hook all that shit up, and we were there from like 6 a.m. all the way until like 2 a.m. And then you go home, you go sleep, and you come back and do it again. And it was not a request. You know what I mean? If you wanted the job, that's what you had to do, right? So you went home and you got like a few hours of sleep
on the weekend.
So like you just had it done.
Right.
But that's like what I'm saying is every kind of like career
industry has
like
every
my dad
career.
worked as a retail manager growing up, like as assistant grocery manager. You know what I mean? He worked like 80-hour weeks. It was just normal. It was just normal life, you know, because did he have a choice? No. And it was salary. He didn't get any extra money for that. You know, like it's just what it was. Like at the end of the
salary
day,
people.
At the end of the day, it's just like, oh, like when you people writing articles and writing books about like crunch for game studios, how horrible it is that they have to work and sometimes even when they elect to do it, right? It's put onto the studio. Do y'all like we're voting and the studio votes yes or whatever. And
also game studios are like the ones pushing for fucking 4-day work weeks. So they're the one like it's the fucking industry that's like, actually, we're gonna work
Yeah.
less. So
No, I think no, they work
More 10-hour
like 3
days.
but do you work 4 10-hour shifts? Like like my job when we slit steel, we worked
Mhm.
4 10-hour days to get our 40. And then Friday was overtime, Saturday was overtime, and then Sunday if it was that busy was triple time. It was like double Saturday, so it was time and a half Friday, double time on Saturday, triple time on fucking Sunday. And everybody, well, we're like, well, fuck it, let's work the Sunday too, because that's fucking triple pay. And and we only work like 5 hours on that
There's usually
on
not
Sunday.
overtime pay in the gaming industry. I see Amit Kumar says, I learned from personal experience whether you bust your butt off for your job working overtime. They'll can your butt the next day and replace you. Working overtime is never worth it for me. Yes. I mean, again, I talked about my experience at Ubisoft and how it wasn't the greatest, right? It was pretty toxic, it was pretty bad, but it still doesn't change my stance on like crunch culture and stuff like that. There, of course, there's going to be like toxic peeps, and there's definitely going to be scenarios where like, yes, I'm for like, hey, if you can get by as with least work and you still get the same amount of pay, sure. Go for
Yeah.
it, whatever. But it's more about the work output for these people like overseeing these games, and usually pressure is good, and leadership is looking at that like, hey, so that's kind of how I'm
You
seeing
can
it.
have
But you
pressure
can get by.
with deadlines, and then the feeling to need to make those deadlines, and like at the end of the day, like
It's in every single
forced
industry.
any kind of forced overtime, I'm never for that unless the pay and you sign up for it, right? But that goes across everything, right? So I don't
Every
treat
single
game
industry, not
developers
just
any
games.
different. It's a problem that exists across the world. It's not just in America too. There's some countries that do things better than others and stuff, but like it's a problem in the industry. It's a problem in every industry that I know of, right? So I just don't
Yeah.
cater to the developers of like feeling
But
bad for them
develop-
because of that.
and the developers nowadays get to work from home anyway, so it's like
A lot of
you're
them.
working from
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, I work from home. It's great. But last thing I'll say on that topic is because I feel like it's relevant with a lot of people in the industry feeling like they have just some high ground because they are either developers or the kind of funnies, the IGNs, like, oh, I'm because of my stance in the industry, my opinion is somehow higher than yours type mentality, which I've never agreed with, and I think it's something that does need to kind of be discussed. My opinion is worth more because I'm in the industry sort of mentality. First off, no. Like, just because you are a developer doesn't mean that your opinion is more. Like, I may have certain things that I know or have experienced or whatever, but you guys are just as passionate about the gaming industry as me, and you may know like friggin' Fuzzy knows a lot more about Forza than I was, and I did some stuff on Forza. Like, there's like things that Fuzzy's gonna know that I might not know, and that's because we're all passionate about the gaming industry, and we are we look at rumors, we there's certain things we can still talk about. I see this thing sometimes where it's like, because in the industry you can't talk about certain things because like, no, you're not allowed to talk about it, or with Kind of Funny, we're just like, no, we're not going to talk about the Insomniac leaks because, well, it's wrong, just things like that. I'm like, bro, you're completely in the wrong for that, and because you're in the industry, you're not somehow more than the people in our chat or anybody on this panel. Like, I'm not more than Mav or Fuzzy or anybody like that. Is like, I might have a differing opinion, or I might have a certain point of view, but at the end of the day, we're all the same beeps.
We're all the
That's
same.
it. We're all the same.
We all bleed red.
We all bleed.
Alvin, member for 19 months, said they want Gear Saga on PC. I bet it's true. Yeah, that's another reason. Like, they want to get that original trilogy on PC for sure, right? Makes a lot of sense. And anyway, everybody, wow, rumor mills galore. We had some fun discussing those things. Well, unfortunately, a lot of these rumors don't have much to do with the direct this week. It's pretty crazy that we have a big show this week on Thursday, and all these rumors have been coming out the last 2 weeks really have nothing to do with it. But we will have some awesome, fun stuff to talk about it at the direct and after. So come hang out with us as we do that. But it's time, everybody, for our last segment of the show. This is Tidbits, the segment where we look ahead at the games coming out for the week. What do we got here? What's our first game?
Judge these logos.
Legend of Grimrock on the Nintendo Switch. Current price is $14.99, and it's coming out. Well, it should already be out on the Switch.
Okay.
Wait, why is it not playing?
Sometimes you have to leave it and come back in, Fuzz.
Okay.
Interesting.
I've been playing a little bit more of my Switch lately, but I've been playing mainly Vampire Survivors on it.
Huh. It's like, I don't. There were like games like this a long time ago, right?
Yeah, it's a classic old school RPG.
It's like,
yeah.
I don't even know what this is called. What is this on?
Switch.
It's on the Nintendo Switch. I mean, it's been on other like PC platform and stuff like that, but new on Switch.
That logo's trash. Sorry.
Man, somebody worked hard on that 3-bit.
They did not. They need to work harder.
Art of Rally for mobile.
Yep. Coming to the App Store on iOS this Thursday for $4.99. This was a pretty fun game on
Wasn't this in Game
console.
Pass?
Yeah, it was Game Pass day and date. This was like one of the first of like the early indies, coming day and date. If you're into rally racing or RC racing type games, definitely worth picking up.
Oh,
This
Bullet
next
Storm
one
VR.
Oh,
Yeah.
ooh.
Now it's coming to PS2 VR, Quest, all of them, which would be 2, 3, and Pro, as well as PC. This Thursday. Current price is $39.99, but it looks like I think if you order it from Quest store, you can get it for $35.99, 10% off for the pre-order.
I feel like they've remade this game like 7 times.
Right.
Yeah, they have a lot of different versions of it. This game is mad fun though. I wish they just made a second one.
Yeah, just make a new one.
Yeah. It's a VR version, huh?
Gotta keep those PSVR 2s from being dusty.
Yeah, sure. Interesting. It doesn't look very VR-y, if that makes sense.
I almost wish Digital Foundry would do a head-to-head between PSVR 2 and Quest 3. Kind of
Yeah,
interested in
I would
those
like to know
comparators.
this, because I heard the specs on the VR2 was really strong. I really want this game. I was thinking about buying it today,
It's
but
on
I don't think it's out
Ubisoft
yet.
Plus, man. It's if you have Ubisoft Plus, you can play it right now. I was playing it today.
They also have a demo out if you want to just try it out.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
This is literally my type of game. Like, I love games like this.
I learned today that Ubisoft Plus actually is like gives you access on console and PC. I already had it on Xbox. I didn't know I had access to it on PC.
I know that new way they're doing it. It kind of sucks because I was just gonna do it on PC. Now I gotta pay an extra fucking $8 to fucking play games. I'm like, you fuckers.
I was already paying that, so I just learned that I got PC access. So I was like, okay.
Now, if you don't do Ubisoft Plus, it's $49.99 coming this Thursday. Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown.
Yeah,
And
this game
it's
is
on everything except mobile. PS5, PS4, Xbox One, and Series X and S, PC and Switch.
gives me Dead Cells vibes, which I beat the heck out of Dead Cells and all that game.
Curious to see what this thing looks like on the Switch.
It probably looks like the Xbox version and every other version. Like the graphics aren't like, they're pretty cartoony, you know? It kind of looks like a colorful mobile game, but it's really solid, the way that it plays. It's just got a cool art style that I think will translate across multiple devices, you know?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
This is the Turnip Boy Robs the Bank. Coming to Xbox One, Series X and S, Switch, and PC. Apparently not PlayStation. This Thursday for $14.99.
Okay.
So if you're a
Wasn't this on
PlayStation
Game Pass, the older one?
Yeah, there was another Turnip Boy, whatever it's called.
Something heist, I think.
You know, I said I would play the old one, and I lied. I'm probably not going to play this one either. But not because it was bad. I kind of like the style. I'm liking the vibes of it.
Kind of looks like Hotline Miami, but you're a turnip.
Yeah, decent logo. Not too bad. Just, I don't know. Just too many other games. I want to play Prince of Persia.
Hey.
Another Code Recollection. This is an oldie being remixed, coming out this Friday for $59.99. Only on
The
Switch.
Nintendo DS game Trace Memory returns
I was like,
on
what
the
is this
Nintendo Switch
moaning
system as
going on?
another
I was
code
like,
to
what's that?
memories. One
Another
day,
code.
a young girl named Ashley receives a letter from the father she thought had passed away. Seeking answers, she sets off for the solitary Blood Edward Island in search of him. Once there, Ashley encounters puzzles and obstacles that hinder her investigation.
Oh, jeez.
There's a lot of noises.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of
See me?
She also
Interesting
meets a
noise,
mysterious boy. What truths await Ashley in this place?
I can't remember if this game required age verification, but I did think some of those noises were on the interesting side as far as for this type of game.
The sequel, another code.
I gotta go up these stairs.
Journey into Lost Memories, previously unreleased in North America, is also included.
So this is like Juliet, huh?
Play both games to
good,
experience the full
graphics,
story. Unravel
Yeah.
both adventures.
I like the
fully
art style.
enhanced for Nintendo Switch when another code Recollection launches January 19th. Pre-orders begin today. on
119,
Nintendo
huh? A
eShop.
day after Xbox's Direct.
Now this is The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered for your PS5 for
No, this wasn't a
$49.
joke. This is actually happening.
So it's happening. They got to sell it to you again. I mean, come on. I mean,
It's the most
if
unnecessary.
you bought it on PS4, you could do the $10 upgrade. Or if you were smart enough to realize that they were going to do this anyway and decided to wait, you paid $50 for it. So yeah.
Yeah, but you get a little astronaut suit. You get to play guitar
Even if we
now
found
for
her,
free. It's like
Or by
so
some
much
miracle
added.
found someone else that's immune.
Where's my factions?
If
That's
people
handsome.
haven't played this one, I really like Last of Us 2. Is just the fact that this does not need to be remade.
Joel's still out there, you know?
I mean, that should, go without saying. But
At least this one's like a
That was a
$10
great game.
update, right?
Yeah.
You
already have
weird,
her.
bizarre. Yeah, in a bizarre way, I wish I kind of wish this was the free upgrade, and the God of War was the $10 upgrade. I'm just saying.
They got more,
Yeah, I mean, well, they got to remake the first one again for VR next year, so.
I'm surprised there isn't a VR component to this game already. Like, why is nobody talking about how their first-party studios aren't doing anything for VR? You can climb a mountain and you can drive a car. Why aren't you putting your Spidey suit on in VR? Or shooting a clicker in VR?
Make me motion
Playing the
sick.
guitar in VR? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'd buy that for $1.
No.
Is that
the
it?
Animations
Oh, yeah,
are great.
I guess
Google.
I forgot that Power World does come out on the 19th. That's not in the list, but
Oh yeah.
the early access thing, but it's whatever.
Here's the thing,
Cool.
like Last of Us 2 is I thought it was a great game. It's just it just annoys the heck out of me that this is remastered. I'm not gonna lie. Like the fact that they're kind of taking advantage of people and this is their strategy. Like how many games are gonna
Yeah.
What, 4 years isn't enough?
like I remember making a joke like, what are they gonna do next? Remaster Last of Us Part 2. I remember joking about that. Like,
So you're the PlayStation insider.
I guess so.
Well,
like, oh yeah, what are they gonna do
that's
next?
the easiest
Remaster
guess.
Last of Us 2?
What's the last game they haven't remastered that released on PS4?
Ghosts?
Bloodborne.
Or did they already do Ghosts? Director's
Yeah,
cut?
there's already a PS5
Yeah, they did
version of it.
director's cut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, that didn't stop them before.
Hey, I think they're going to
It's-
remaster Spider-Man 2 for the PS5 Pro.
Oh my gosh.
That's a good one.
What else?
What if they
What else
remastered
got?
Last of Us Part 1 again for the PS5 Pro?
Oh my
Or
They
the
god.
do.
remake remaster?
I want every PlayStation owner to throw their PlayStation in the garbage
Right.
as
Yeah,
a sign
Horizon-
of
I think
protest.
it's funny how we have like 18 fucking Last of Us games, but there's only been 2 entries in the franchise. It's like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yeah.
It's like-
A lot of SKUs.
Horizon Zero Dawn didn't get a remaster.
Oh yeah, they're doing the first one, right?
Yeah,
Apparently.
that's the dude.
Yeah, well, no, they already did kind
They
of a
put it on
remaster
PC,
when they put it on
didn't they?
PC.
yeah.
That's technically
not
the
for
level of a
PS5 though.
remaster.
but not
Yeah,
for
so-
PS5.
They want to like they're really smart when you think about it. Like when they're remastering these games, that does not take a lot of development time or whatever. The fact that
Oh,
I
and
again, I will never agree with or understand how Spider-Man 2 was like way more than the first one when it was basically
Oh, yeah.
the first
Yeah,
game.
there's
Because
a,
Disney
there's
asked
a
for
They
more
were
rumor
money in their
co-developing the
contract.
PC version at the same time.
there's a rumor that
Did you
they're
see the PC
remaking
release?
Horizon Zero Dawn. I remember that yeah.
Remaking,
Yeah.
yeah. And then shoot, what was the game that and doing a Ratchet and Clank. Like stuff that's already sort of built, like you just keep doing over and over. Like they already have a Ratchet and Clank like formula. Let's
Yeah.
make some new levels. Bada bing, bada boom.
It's
Call
like
it Ratchet and Clank 3.
we'll be playing
Like-
Last of Us Part 2 Alpha Remix Super Street Fighter Edition or whatever.
Pro Edition.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
Wait,
remember the Street Fighters
gonna
that
wait
always
for the-
had all the extra
Oh, yeah,
names
Turbo.
at the end.
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo, Street Fighter 2 Turbo Alpha, Street Fighter
Remix.
2 Turbo Alpha
Remix,
Remix.
Super Street Fighter 2.
yeah, exactly. I love
Titles start getting longer and longer.
it.
No, I'm gonna wait for the Last of Us trilogy when they remaster all of them for the the non PS6 that they will not make. So
Yeah,
It'd be-
according to King, no
dream.
PS6.
There'll just be a
it'll
third
just
party.
be your
stream.
PC and the PlayStation app.
Yeah,
Yep.
Magnum says Nick's leak was the Last of Us Remastered Remake Ultra Xbox Edition. Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna get everybody out of here. Thank you all for watching this show. We'll be back tomorrow night for Fun Pop at 10 p.m. Eastern time. Then Thursday, the Dev Direct will be co-streaming 2:30 Eastern here, and then following that, we'll be having PM in the PM at 7 p.m. Eastern with Pong Soul and I. And then Friday night Xbox Ultimate at 10 p.m. Eastern, where we can recap everything. But I want to thank everybody for watching. Psycho, tell everybody where they can find you, bro.
Chat, thanks for coming out tonight. It's fantastic. You guys were great. Love the energy with some of the topics we had. Always fun doing the show with you guys. I'm surprised that Jasper didn't have Pal World ready to go in the clips.
Hey, Fuzzy made the list. I just copied it.
You know, damn it. And no, you can find me on social media everywhere at Psychonauts 8. You can find me Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Well, I was about to say Sunday for some reason. Friday, 10 o'clock on this channel doing FSP, Fun Pop, and Xbox Ultimate.
Right on, bro. Appreciate you. Jasper, what about you, dude?
Yo, check it out, Lord Jasper, Twitter, Lord Master Jasper, YouTube, all that fun stuff. Monday, Tuesday, Friday, right here, 10 o'clock on the Fun Speculation Network with FSP, Fun Pop, and Xbox Ultimate. And then, like Matt said, this Thursday, 2:30, we're going to be watching the Direct together, reacting to that. So come on down for that. And that's where I'm at. That's what I do. Have fun.
We're going to South Park.
Yeah, come on down, South Park, and meet some friends, man.
That's what popped up, man.
And Fuzzy Belvedere, what about you, sir?
It was awesome being on here with you guys tonight. Thanks to everybody in the chat. Don't forget, hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. I'm gonna try to see if I can make it Thursday. Got some range training with the boys. We're taking them to the firing range, so we'll see. Maybe they're planning a month in advance, so I don't. I know they really want to go, and I can't reschedule without it being a big rigmarole. But
Yeah,
glad to be here with you guys. Look forward to at least being on Xbox Ultimate on Friday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Definitely check it out, but definitely check out all the Fun Speculation shows in between. Love you guys. See you on Friday.
right on, bro. And 3-bit.
Everyone can find me on Twitter at I3bit. Cool things are coming. Outside of game development, commercial things. But also eventually at the end of this month, I said I will have an announcement. So just be wary of that. Be wary of these fake insiders and these people who have sources all of a sudden in the same time span of this month somehow, all basically knocking into each other. Just happen to have sources at this specific time. Just be wary of these people. So that's all I'll say. Love y'all. Thanks everybody for coming to the chat. Everybody in the everybody in the channel, you guys saying it's my fault. No, it's just for stuff. You guys are awesome. So I appreciate y'all. I will try my best to be on the developer direct. I do have a whole commercial shoot that day, I believe. But I will try my best to drop by. If not on camera, I'm sorry, I might have to be a cow, Lewis. Maybe I'll be a cow and drop by, but we'll see. See you guys then.
Right on, bro. Appreciate you, 3-bit. And yeah, everybody have a great one. See you tomorrow night for Fun Pop. And then Thursday, like I said, the Dev Direct. Hopefully we get some cool news and lots to talk about. Have a good one. Peace out. Bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye, everybody.